Sorry, I'm breathing so heavily. I just realised. New PC, let's go. Yeah, indeed. The new PC is here. Crazy work. Took a while. PC is very... Can you hear that? Can you hear that? Can you hear it? No, you damn can't. You can't hear it at all. Because this is what the new PC sounds like. What happened to Hassan? What do you mean, what happened to Hassan? Something happened to Hassan? It's quiet. Can you hear it? Exactly. Fuck, guys. I'm so excited. Ethan admitted we were right all along, but we'll get to that shortly. I'm just in awe. There's no noise. Good? There's just nothing. No noise at all. Also, what do you think about the chat like this? Do you think it needs the black background back? I may as well be muted because there's no PC noise. What are you going to do with that new PC? Run incredibly intensive Mandelbrot, play games and all. Mine crypto. All of it, brother. Every single last bit. Shit. Noise. Okay, and the donations are working. You got a notification for that? Yes, yes, yes. The black text is difficult to read. Okay. Okay, we're gonna fuck around and see what we can get done. Oh, fucking hell. What am I supposed to be on? Stream elements. Shout out Michelle, thanks for becoming a member. Guys, this is the final stream before I'm in Canada. But the problem is I don't get how to get the... I forgot a better way to do chat. Doesn't look great on the dark background. No, it doesn't look great on the dark background. You know what? I think that's a thing for once we get back. I'll put it back on. Save. It's going to be white today. Oh. Oh, guys, I'm just sat here and there's silence. There's silence. There is silence here. And there is no noise. Bro, I can probably open the Times of Israel without issue. Oh my god, I opened the Times of Israel. It didn't crash. Oh, fuck, I'm using the wrong ad block. Oh shit. Well, I can't go on the Times of Israel because it's telling me to remove my ad block. Oh. Guys, I just need to do my quick live on YouTube. I'm going to take my headset on so I look so much cooler. I'm learning about how to pay for things with Klarna. I'm so ecstatic. You should showcase your new PC. I mean, I have like one video of it. Here was... I'll see if you... I don't know if you can see this. Here's it booting up earlier via my phone. Wait, let me just double check something. I have a video of it boosting up. Right, here we go. Wait, hold on. So here you go. I fixed the noise as well. Just listen to that, bro. The silence. The silence. Oh, impeccable. Impeccable. And you know what? My friend helped me with most of it, but I actually did the last part of it. The cable management is tickling. Yeah, the cable management is probably could be better, but my friend did a great job, and I'm eternally grateful. And I'm eternally grateful to Terra Trove Tales, Trevor, as he is sometimes known, and Henry Chatwin for all their amazing help. With especially the troubleshooting. Right, I'm just going to quickly do my story. Hey everyone, I am live on YouTube. I'm going to be discussing how EthanKlein has admitted that we were right about him all along, that it wasn't about anti-Semitism, and that it was his problematic views about Palestine. I'll also be talking about the insane Charlie Kirk memorial. Hey guys, if you're seeing this on Instagram, the link is up here, but I'm live on YouTube right now. If you're on TikTok, it's in my bio. But today we're going to be discussing... Oh... I've had to do it multiple times. Hey everyone, I am live on YouTube right now. The link is up here if you're seeing this on Instagram. On TikTok, it's in my bio. We're going to be discussing EthanKlein admitting that we were right all along, that he is actually a Zionist and that it wasn't about anti-Semitism. We're going to be talking about the insane Charlie Kirk memorial that happened yesterday. And finally, Trump saying that he's cured autism. But yeah, come say hi. Right now. The link is up here if you're seeing this on Instagram. On TikTok, it's in my bio. We're going to be...
But tell me, like, organize a state of...
Oh, just come on! Oh, this is fire! I gotta work in PC, guys. I really need to sort the chat out now. Hello, I'm Iranian and I endorse your video on Alika. Good to know that real Iranian patriots enjoyed this video. Oh fuck, I didn't download my story. Oh, motherfucker. Where you come say hi sounds... Come say hi. Oh, fuck. But the problem is the video's just taken ages to bloody upload now. And I need it to get a downloaded version. Oh my god, I'm having some trouble. Kaylee Bush? Was that? Right. Shout out Kaylee Bush for becoming a member. Shout out all of the damn members. The chat looks like the Epstein list. What, should I switch it back to black? Do you prefer it on black? Because you're not getting anything better than that. That's all I'm saying. I feel like checker chat? Checker chat might be better, actually. Hold on. Let's have a look at that. No, it's just black. Salam, Iranian here. I am Iranian as well. Salam از انگلستان. من انگلیسیم. Our new bookkeeper at work is Iranian, and I haven't managed to have a discussion with her yet. Actually, that chat does look slightly better, doesn't it? No, this way looks good. This way looks kind of fire. It's 10 minutes in. We've done no news yet. So maybe there's something I was going to watch. Oh, fuck. My TikTok's not logged in, so we're not doing that. Mabruk from your new PC. Oh, it's... My PC is silent. I genuinely... This Alienware has been sat here for far too long. I've had that PC for, you know, months now, and now I needed to update it. And thank you for all of you who donated. Thank you for all of you who've been watching. You make the PC. You made the PC. Everything is now computer in my house. And that's all down to you who donated, who helped, who watched, who just were here, who became members, all of this shit. Terra Trove, thank you so much. Connor Russell is now a member. Shout out Young Con. Salam from Morocco. Hello from England. The silence is the news. Yeah, I mean, I haven't done the Wordle today. I guess I can do the Wordle quickly. I love the damn Wordle. Fuck the New York Times and all, so I'm not paying for a subscription. And I want a damn subscription. I really, really want a subscription, to be honest. Chris needs a new camera. I'm not sure what to do about the camera, so I'm hopefully going to take this microphone to Canada. I'm going to set up a streaming setup that will be basic in Canada, but it'll be like, you know, just my MacBook and a monitor and everything. So we'll be able to stream, but it'll take me about a week or so. Should be back at the start of October, I think will be my first stream again, unless there's something major and I just do like a really basic level stream. And what was I going to say? Yeah, I'm hopefully going to take this mic away because it's a bit shit. And yeah, I mean, yesterday's Wordle was funky. Alienware is BDS anyway. Yeah, I know. I've had that PC since 2019. So, oh, I've accidentally full screened when I want to be on here. So I love starting with Freak. Okay, we're gonna... I'm not playing Wordle hard, so I'm gonna put Ouija in. Oh, God. Oh, fuck, it's not guys. Tweet. I'm going to put in guys. I know that it's not correct. But I want to see if... Oh, that's not good. I was hoping it would have an S or an E in it. Connection's greater than Wordle. Indeed it is. Indeed it is. Nah, it can't be Guile. Oh, that's a great guess. I think you're probably right. Catch this, fascist. Luigi. I don't know what it'll be. I have no idea what this will be. Built was a great guess, but I genuinely can't think of what word it could be. No E. Do it. Oh, it is Quill, isn't it? That's what it is. Well done. Fire. I'm assuming some of you must have done that, because that was good. Okay, we'll do the connections quickly whilst we wait for the people to funnel in. Although the number of people's actually gone down since I started playing Wordle. Right. Oh, God. Can we say that Memorial was rather floppy? No, the Memorial was not damn floppy. And yeah, by the way, Michelle, you had a great comment. You all finance the silence. This is the payoff for your donations. Just quiet. Domino Orca. Oh, Domino Orca. What did you think it was? Domino Orca crossword and Oreo. Yeah, I think you're right about that. Oh, what a guess. These are the ones that are free, yes. The stream with a ranked Dota match, not chance. Volume, length, area. No. Area, length, perimeter. Actually, those are all shape-related words, aren't they? Basic geometric calculations. I feel like this is what Vegas hotels. What are the Vegas Excalibur, Luxor? Bro, I only know the ones from Fallout, and even those I don't know what their names are, and I don't even know if those are real. How do you know that? Are you all from Vegas or something? It's A's, E's, Ho's, R's. What are these? Words that sound like plural letters. Ah, okay, right. Oh shit, I need TikTok. No, I don't.
I agree with you. I think that my characterization of it is a utopia, like in that moment.
I'm actually hopefully going to make a video about Ethan tomorrow. I was going to do it today, but then I had to fucking do stuff with my PC. So, yeah, well done, chat. That was fire. How do you know the Vegas hotels? I don't know anything about Vegas hotels. I would have never got that. The problem with these games sometimes is they're way, way, way too American focused, America coded. But yeah. So I mean, this is kind of like a bit of a slightly lighter story, but it's also kind of crazy because Ethan just admitted that we were all right all along, and that, you know, his videos are still unbelievable because in his video he's still like, oh, I can't wait, we'll just watch it. It's unbelievable stuff.
I came back to TikTok to defend myself against wild accusations. But I also came back because I want to apologize for things that I genuinely got wrong. For example,
I mean, if you're coming back to deal with wild accusations, and a big part of that is, you know, apologizing for things you got wrong, maybe the accusations ain't so wild, Mr. Klein.
We're planning to go to Israel in June.
Also, does anyone else remember when he made fun of iDubbbz for his editing? It is so easy to edit a TikTok video. Like, genuinely, it is so easy to edit a TikTok video. And he couldn't even just put in the clip of himself saying this.
With my parents. And I'm actually really excited to go there. I want to show you guys how beautiful, how multicultural, how, like, free it feels for people. Or just, it's a beautiful place. It is. It's one of the most diverse places I've ever been.
This is such a funny video because Ethan's cut it so it misses out one of the most important parts where he says, I actually want to show you what Israel is like. It's not just that he's saying, oh, it's beautiful, it's amazing. He, of course, misses out, like, the fact that he said, oh, I want to show you that it's not like what the leftists tell you Israel's like. I mean, we can find my video on it. HCX Lefty, thank you for becoming a member.
looking back, I definitely feel ashamed for the way I spoke about Israel with such levity at the time that a genocide was happening.
It's amazing that anyone takes this seriously and is like, oh, Ethan's done, you know, this amazing apology. And he's just like, oh yeah, I'm sorry about doing this when the genocide happening. And he only does it after he's like, how am I going to fix my reputation? And he's like, the video begins with the, and I'm going to talk about this in my recent video, in my new video that hopefully I get recorded tomorrow. But like, what I want to say is like, every time Ethan admits that he's done something wrong, he just doesn't address what it fully is. And he starts this video by saying, oh, there's all these crazy and wild allegations against me. And his previous one is like, oh, well, I support Israel. I do this, I do that. And it's kind of like, you do those things. This is unequivocal support to Israel. And the video where Ethan talks about this, hold on.
I completely understand why people could watch this clip and judge me harshly for it. I want to apologize to anyone in the Palestinian diaspora or anybody that's been affected by this war that felt that I was trivializing the suffering, the horror that you've gone through. And for that, I deeply am sorry, and I'm ashamed of this clip. I came back.
It's kind of amazing because there you go. Ethan just admitted that we were right the whole time. That we were right the entire time. That there's no like deranged harassment campaign against him. Yeah, sure, there are ostensibly some people who did things that, were beyond the pale. I don't even care about speculating about those in terms of like, does it matter as to whether like, those things were, I know people have cast out on certain aspects of those things. But ultimately, what I think matters here is, his video begins with, defend myself against wild accusations. The wild accusations in question
Hey everybody,
are these.
EthanKlein here. Most of you on TikTok have probably seen videos about how I'm a Zionist, I'm a Jewish supremacist, I'm Islamophobic, that I support Israel's actions in Gaza, and many more claims.
Bro, you just admitted that you did Hasbara. Can you not see that there's a commonality between those kind of things? And also, let's just watch the actual clip of this. So, here it is.
Give me 1 sec. Come on down.
We're planning to go to Israel in June with my parents and all the kids. It's going to be such a great trip. And I'm actually really excited to go there. I want to show you guys.
You haven't been there in so long.
It's been a long fucking time. What I want to do is show you guys how I see Israel, because you don't see that when you listen to Hassan and you hear all these fucking mega lefties talking about it like it's some super racist, crazy, like Jim Crow style of society.
Bro, I got a fire quote in my new video if I get the chance to make it. I hope I do soon, because it's like I was like, his clearly atrophying body and mind. He says. It's not about going to Israel even. Going to Israel is bad. Going to Israel is very, very, very bad. But the fact that he didn't show the full clip where the purpose of going to Israel was not just to see his family, but to film Israel to show you that Hassan was lying about Israel is amazing. This stuff is amazing.
Like, I can't wait to show you guys how beautiful, how multicultural, how like free it feels for people, or just it's a beautiful place. It is. It's one of the most diverse places I've ever been.
I love how he edited out. Like, this is the thing. Ethan is doing this solely to save his reputation. It doesn't come from a place of actually feeling bad about what he's done. He is literally just doing PR. Because if he genuinely felt these things that he admitted, then surely he would say, as some of you have just put in chat, yeah, actually, I should apologize to Hassan. I should apologize to, to all of these people who I've gone after. Because realistically, yes, I did do these kind of things.
I've always wanted to go on Birthright.
I didn't even remember that this was part of it.
Oh man, Zach needs to come with
out
us.
of that.
Zach needs to come as one of our kids.
You want to?
I'm Zach Klein. Hi, how you doing?
Yeah.
Young Zachariah. But I want to show you guys Tel Aviv. That's
I want to show you Tel Aviv.
love it.
Base?
I would be like, yo, I'm going to Israel in June.
Does this really look like something that you should dismiss with a 50-second apology that you can then go on and say, actually, you know, I'm really sorry about that. Oh, I'm sorry I'd planned to visit Israel in a genocide. Because that's not actually even the problem. Or the worst part of this. The worst part of this, categorically, of what he is doing. The worst part of what he is doing here is saying that he just unequivocally wants to film Israel and show you how amazing it is. He did not say, he did not admit that. And by the way, he had to edit the clip, so he did watch it. Also, thank you, Anna, for becoming a level 1 member.
Based?
I hate it so much.
She loves it. I'm going to show you guys, though. I'm very excited. I'm going to show you Tel Aviv. I'm going to show you Yaffo, which is like the sister city of Tel Aviv, which is like an Arab city. But obviously, it's not like that. It's not like...
They're kind of like one. Tel Aviv,
yeah,
Yaffo is one. Yeah.
It's not like, you know, segregated.
You know what's fucked is like if you go to Israel, they won't let you in Lebanon if it's on your passport.
Yeah.
And then so like I have people in my family, for example, who like the husband's Lebanese and the wife is Palestinian. And so if they want to visit her family in Palestine, you have to go through Israel.
Wait, Israel doesn't let Lebanese in? I thought they did.
No, Palestine. Lebanon.
Lebanon doesn't let
Yeah,
Israel.
but I'm saying when they want to visit like her family in
They're
Palestine, now they're worried about going to Lebanon.
Well, you know what Israel
Wow.
does?
Yeah.
They do this for everybody. It's routine. They don't stamp your passport. They put it on a disposable one, so they don't fuck people over.
Actually, yeah, this person I'm talking about said that.
But yeah, I think that's enough of watching his clip there. But it's just so amazing. Like, the first video is, oh, I want to deal with all of these terrible accusations against me. I want to save my reputation. Don't believe a word that this man says. Like, don't believe a word.
I want you to know that these claims are not true. And
also, by the way, whenever he highlights donating $6,500, surely he's making millions a year. Like, if he was making $650,000 a year, that would be like 1% of his income. And he's not making that. He's making way more than that.
over the next couple of months, I plan to prove that to you guys. My goal is to address them one at a time. So if you think I'm trying to dodge or avoid any specific... I agree with
But
you. I think that
here's even the first time he apologized, because this I also included.
my characterization of it as a utopia, like in that moment, was distasteful. And I wish that I had said that differently. And I see that it came off bad. It came off bad, and I was wrong on that one. I totally agree. Watching that clip back, I'm regretful about how I spoke about it. So I agree with you.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's like, oh, I did one thing wrong. He acts as if it's just this one thing, and that therefore all other allegations against him are like spurious or ridiculous. But like, when you put it into context of, hey, you said you wanted to go to Israel, you wanted to film it, so you could show people that it wasn't like Hassan did. You literally said you wanted to do Hasbara for the Israeli government to show that it was actually a lovely multicultural society. I don't think he has he has changed his opinion regarding it at all. I think it literally just boils down to, my reputation is in the dirt and I want to save it. I want to save it. That's all he wants to do. He doesn't actually care about anything he's saying. He doesn't care about anything. He doesn't remember anything or half the things he says realistically. Like, truth be told, he doesn't remember anything he says because his mind is completely destroyed. I don't really know why his mind is so bad. But yeah, and it's like, as well, saying, oh, I'm not a Zionist, I want to address these things, that I don't support Israel's actions in Gaza. And it's not taking accountability for his actions. It's crazy to post a video a few days before, but I mean, it's really only for his fans. Like, this is not, people aren't going to change their opinions about him, because
I agree.
Like, surely he now must just,
I came back to TikTok
like, just let's watch this again.
to defend myself against wild accusations. But I also came back because I want to apologize for things that I genuinely got wrong. For example,
We're planning to go to Israel in June with my parents, and I'm actually really excited to go there. I want to show you guys how beautiful, how multicultural, how like free it feels for people, or just, it's a beautiful place. It is. It's one of the most diverse places I've ever been.
Looking back, I definitely feel ashamed for the way I spoke about Israel with such
Yeah, I mean, it is crazy to be reading this stuff off of a screen. Like, why are you looking up? Maybe there's some noise going on, I don't know.
levity at the
And also, Dees, thank you so much for the 7 Canadian. If he is able to restore his reputation with this, then we are dumber than dirt. The dirt we sleep in, and we are all dogs. Yeah, he ain't restoring his reputation with this.
time that a genocide was happening. I completely understand why people could watch this clip and judge me harshly for it. I want to apologize to anyone in the Palestinian diaspora or anybody that's been affected by this war that felt that I was trivializing the suffering, the horror that you've gone through. And for that, I deeply am sorry, and I'm ashamed of this clip.
But it's not about the genocide just, it's about what Israel is. It's about specifically how Israel behaves and how it acts. Israel is not. Israel is not this place that's multicultural, even prior to the genocide. And yeah, of course, he says war because he doesn't care. But it's not even that it's damage control. I don't care that it's damage control. What I care about is that this is just an open admission. This is just an open admission of what Israel, of what the Ethan has, of the fact that Ethan is a Zionist, that he wanted to do Zionist propaganda. I mean, as I said, he cut the video. But at the same time, this is just openly admitting, hey, I wanted to do Zionist propaganda, but I didn't get to do it. And also, you know the sick part as well? The reason Ethan didn't go is because he didn't want his family to be affected. And he said over and over again, Israel's not racist, that all of these things about Israel are being inflated by people. And it's kind of just like, it just feels ridiculous to hear him say this, to act as if, oh, there's been a major change around it. Let me just see if I can find it.
The kids and
I don't want them to have to deal with sirens and seeing all that shit and hearing all that shit, you know?
But that's just not going to happen. Something else happening inside Israel.
a peace
We put the-
deal or something to go into effect.
Yeah, we put the visit off while the war is
Because we want to
happening.
come with the kids and
I don't want them to have to deal with sirens and seeing all that shit and hearing all that shit, you know?
But that's... God, also... I feel like the quality of my video was shit back then. I will also go back and address the pie conspiracy. Chris is a savoury pie supremacist and also complicit in the banning of sugary pies in the UK. Tony Soprano lover, you are the first mod who may be banned for lying. Because Henry Chatwin has confirmed it. But this is why Ethan didn't go. He would have literally gone to Israel to do Hasbara, but he didn't do it because he didn't want his kids to hear sirens. He didn't pull out of it because he was like, oh, I'm worried how that this might look to people, and oh, it was offensive when I said that. He will do and say anything to try and save his reputation. And yeah, he could start by sharing good information if he wants to be helpful. Nobody gives a fuck about him defending his honor. Exactly. Ethan's idea of sharing good information is talking about Sudan. He didn't talk about Ethan just posted this. This is what this guy does, and he acts like the allegations against him are wild. Meanwhile, in Sudan, him and his wife do not care about Palestine. They care about the fact that for the first time they are losing viewers, and there is no way to get them back. There is no one coming back. He is trying to save his reputation, and you better expect that I'm going to make a video later today. This man is not saving his reputation. He is not fooling anyone. Don't let him fool you. He doesn't care about Palestine. He is a liar. All he cares about is the fact that his pockets are affected. He is toxic. A few days ago, him and Hila were like, or Hila was like, oh, I lost, someone wants to work with me, Why do you think people don't want to work with you? People don't want to work with Israelis when they have defended the genocide. That is the issue here. You defend the genocide, people don't want shit to do with you. Ethan never cared about Sudan. He doesn't care about Palestine because all it is to him is just a way to defend Israel. You don't post shit like this and then ignore Sudan constantly and not know anything about it. It's so insane. Like, this man's behavior is so pathetic. And just don't be fooled. Don't be tricked by him. Because this was 2 months ago. You know why he posted that, right? Look at the top comment as well. Holy shit, I didn't know Sudan was that fucking bad. Is literally anyone doing anything to help them? It's the biggest humanitarian crisis right now. Food can't come in. Millions of dollars worth of resources have already been stolen. The only thing you can really do is be vocal about it, which is hard because there's already so much going on which overshadows the situation. That's also, by the way, that's just not even true. Like, sure, the theft of aid may be a factor in Sudan, but the other problem is Sudan is absolutely huge, and there is a murderous, genocidal cult which is funded by Israel's allies. And by the way, Ethan referred to Iran as the big evil in the Middle East, which is the same kind of Orientalist propaganda that is the problem. I don't have an issue with anyone having qualms with Iran. I would be doing a disservice to any of my friends who lived in Iran, who spoke to me, who told me about what it was like living in Iran, to sit here and tell you, yeah, Iran's perfect. But what I will tell you is people who sit there and portray images and inflate Iran to like, oh, Iran causes all this chaos. The Middle East would be fine without Hezbollah, Hamas, the Houthis, these people. The Middle East problems are so much larger. They pertain specifically to Western imperialism, in my opinion. Yes, there have been bad faith actors, but ultimately these systems were set up by the West, and the West has continually interfered in these kind of situations. And yet Ethan sits there and tells us, actually, no, Iran's the big bad. Sorry, I'm also checking during this who's getting ranked in the Ballon d'Or. I'm hoping that Cole Palmer is ranked number 1. He's not going to be, but he should be. Scott McTominay got 18th in the Ballon d'Or. Jesus. Sorry, I need to also... Oh, fuck. I need to add my... I need to switch my Twitter to dark mode, which I've just done. DXR trying his hardest to get a chat ban. Iran is perfect, as all bourgeois states. Also a huge fan of theocracy vibes. Yeah, I'm a Chelsea fan. What's DXR doing? Let me have a look what this little man is doing. Pie cooking streamer. Stop talking about damn pies. Where is DXR? You can't ban DXR. There's no banning DXR. Let me look at his channel activity. DXR is a free man. Ban me. DXR, you have posted this message. Finally, see through chat. Muted. Ban me. Sugar pies are great, but banning mods is better. You're a sick bastard. Don't ban him. He shall become a martyr for all sweet pies. Yeah, I'm worried about what Tony Soprano Lover's going to do once he's banned. But yeah, like... Ethan's not changed any opinions. It's just saved the reputation. Ethan is so blessed to have the safety in travel. Crazy, I'm nervous for my dad going to Lebanon to see my grandma. 3 little kids died yesterday in South Lebanon. Yeah, and Ethan supported all this kind of shit. And he go, no, I don't. No, I don't. And he's there doing Hasbara, telling you, oh, Israel are amazing. Israel are doing these great things. And he would say, well, I'm just against Israel for Hezbollah. But, like, Hezbollah are actually trending right now. Maybe it's because they heard me talking about them. But that is just a heinous story. Israel killed 3 children and their father in a drone strike. Shadi Sobhi Marwa and his children, Celine Hadi and Asil, were killed in the Israeli attack in Bint Jabal. Only the mother and the eldest daughter survived. The father and his 3 children were US citizens. Wow. And also, thank you, Lemon Mint Cat. It's a horrible situation. Sorry, Tony Soprano lover. I've got lots going on. But yeah, like, your reputation is in the dirt. It is unsavable. And you've just admitted, this guy just admitted, it was not about anti-Semitism because here he is being a Zionist. Like, a Palestinian politician got arrested. Which Palestinian politician? They've been on a campaign of arresting Palestinian politicians for ages.
Salin and Sharaf Nasadi.
The storm.
Right. I think that's probably all the Ethan I want to do, because he's not been up to any other weird shit. I mean, he's always up to weird shit, but yeah. Lonabox will be the Japanese soldier fighting World War II 30 years after it ended in regards to saying Israel isn't committed genocide. This streamer still makes Hasbara the old-fashioned way. Yes, we're done with the EthanKlein slop. I just wanted to talk about that. It was only about 30 minutes, I think. But Ethan, done. Finito. Yes, that's why I'm going to Canada, to marry DXR. Yes, great stuff. Right, hold on, let me get up my document. Jarvis, pull up the document. Jamie, can we get that in HD? So, Charlie Kirk had his memorial yesterday, and of course, it was pretty wild. Let's have a look at it.
Of September 10th, I arrived at a Utah hospital to do the unthinkable, to look directly at my husband's murdered body. I saw the wound that ended his life. I felt everything you would expect to feel. I felt shock. I felt horror. And a level of heartache that I didn't even know existed.
She seems a lot more upset now, which isn't surprising.
But there was something else too. Even in death, I could see the man that I love. I saw the one single gray hair on the side of his head, which I never told him about. Now he knows. Sorry, baby, I'm telling you now, but never told him. Didn't want to. I also saw this. I also saw on his lips the faintest smile. And that told me something important. It revealed to me a great mercy from God in this tragedy. When I saw that, it told me Charlie didn't suffer. Even the doctor.
Rick Sanchez, what a chain of messages. Charlie was right about single moms, minorities, homosexuals. Calling people homosexuals is crazy. You could have just said gay people. But I think I'm going to block you because Charlie Kirk was most certainly not right about any of those things. He was an incredibly hateful individual who had Nazi-like politics.
The doctor told me it was something so instant that even if Charlie had been shot in the operating room itself, nothing could have been done. It
is, I guess, with the internet, that his wife is a single mom now. I mean, that's a good point. That is a good point. That is a good point, yes. But at the same time, I mean, just this is at least better. Also, be careful about making jokes if you're an American.
There was no pain. There was no fear. No agony. One moment, Charlie was doing what he loved, arguing and debating on campus.
I feel like what you love, just being debating school kids is a crazy thing to just love.
Fighting for the gospel and truth.
He was also just so hateful, and I'm just not sure that that's what the gospel preaches. Just such hate.
In front of a big crowd, and then he blinked. He blinked.
Do you think it just fades to black? Do you guys think about that? You know, in The Sopranos, when they're like, 1 second you're there and you're not. Because, I mean, it seems that, I guess she'll say, oh, he's with his Lord, but part of me just does think that you just blink and that's it. That, like, it was also crazy. Sorry, what I was saying is it was crazy that there were people, guys, I don't... There's someone just doing an N-word chain, so... called Joe Goebbels, so... I would love to be deported back to my motherland. What is your motherland? Ireland. How's that still...
And saw his Savior in paradise.
I mean, there's a lot to cover on this. I got some stuff to talk about, but we'll just watch... Here she is with the...
Charlie.
Also, have any of you seen... Do you remember a couple of weeks ago when people were like, oh, Piers Morgan has really changed on Palestine? Piers Morgan has just been tweeting how much he loves Trump for the last few days, which is amazing.
He wanted to save young men, just like the one who took his life. That young man. That young man. On the cross, our Savior said, Father, forgive them, for they not know what they do.
Isn't it for they know not what they do? Not, I mean, I guess you're speaking at a funeral, so you're probably quite emotional, especially if it's your husband's funerals. But, I mean, you know, I've seen people saying this. Do you think she only forgave him because he was white? Like, do you think she would have forgiven him if it was a black person who did it? Because her husband certainly wouldn't have forgiven someone and would have explained that it was the result of probably their blackness, quite possibly.
That man, that young man, I forgive him. I forgive him because it was what Christ did.
Why was this not your message generally? Just to be forgiving and kind and loving to people. Like, this was not your husband's message at all.
And is what Charlie would do. The answer to hate is not hate. The answer we know from the gospel is love, and always love.
So that was not at all, like, I'm sorry, coming and doing this when your husband preached hatred, unequivocal hatred, is quite something.
Love for our enemies, and love for those who persecute us.
Jesus Christ. God, I have so many tabs open and my PC is just silent. I also wanted to watch this because I haven't.
I personally can't.
Oh my god, why have you put music over...
Doing better.
Why has everyone put music over this? Just want to see if I can find Covey talking to Dean.
I'm proud of the skin.
Can we go back to the, I just checked, because he said I was dumb, right? And I don't think that a white person has the moral high ground to be saying, this is to be condemned and this is not to be condemned. Because you just don't understand it, right? So I'm not excusing unaliving, by the way. I just wanted to say, I don't condemn it. I mean, I condemn it. I don't condone it, right? I'm not going to sit here and celebrate. Even on my lives, I clearly said I won't celebrate it. But at the end of the day, if a black person comes to me and celebrates it, I'm not going to condemn them. And I'm black. And I don't understand why white people always feel...
I've spoken to Dean Withers before. I've spoken to Dean Withers once when I did a live with Parker.
Entitled to tell black and brown people how we should feel and how we should react to harm caused to us. Because, like...
Covey is genuinely a leftist. Covey's actually a really, really nice person. I highly rate Covey. She just had a 4-hour debate with Lonabox.
You're, like, Dean, you're a white cishet man. At the end of the day, the rhetoric that Charlie Kirk was spreading does not impact you. Like, you're not directly going to be harmed by it or impacted by it. So I don't get why white people in general feel like they are entitled to tell a black or brown person how they should be reacting to their own oppressor or to their own dehumanizer.
Well, I mean, I think in the sense of like me saying that like you probably shouldn't react in such a way as to like literally go out and like celebrate like the glorification of political violence and somebody dying by getting shot in the neck in front of their family. I get like the aspect of this where, you know, we're talking about the fact that individuals are going to feel some level.
It's amazing. The word salad here is amazing.
Of relief.
Sorry. I'll say it again. Charlie Kirk would have mocked and celebrated the death of each and every single one of us in chat. Do not forget that. Yeah, I mean, he did mock. Why are there so many strange people in chat today? Like, what is this all about? No bigger hate than Christian love. The Burkus. What do these words even mean?
Because we had a proponent of, you know, like very hateful rhetoric in which materialized into harm. And now stop that hateful rhetoric materializing into harm. I get why that's going to make individuals feel relief, okay? Just that rhetoric ceasing, okay? That fact on its own, I understand that. I do. I understand that. Rhetoric existing that perpetuates oppression to rhetoric not existing that perpetuates...
What are these words? What are these words? What are these words?
...perpetuates oppression. That is my usher in some sense of relief, okay? But I think, once again, where like my issue...
My usher in some sense of relief.
I feel like we've been over this a couple times, isn't there. My issue is more so within, like, as we've already talked about a handful of times, the celebration of the point of someone going from alive to dead in a violent manner in front of their family and 1,000 people. Like I don't know. Maybe like I'm really trying here. I swear to God, I'm really trying here. And once again, where I set is at the fact, you know, I had the reaction I did. If you're out there and, you know, you're not feeling like super sad, okay, whatever. I'm not gonna judge you. But it's more so within like the glorification and the justification of the act of political execution. I can't agree with that. I can't.
As I've said before, like I don't think someone getting shot on a campus is a good thing. Like I'm not going to repeat what I've said multiple times. Like I think it's a bad precedent. I think it's worrying, and I do think America should be a place that has less guns. And I know his family wasn't there. I know that that's now been established, but I also can completely understand what Covey is saying, and it's why I won't sit here and just tell you all what you should and how you should react. I mean, all I'll say is just be very careful. Like, you should be very, very careful in the sense of, like, there are a lot of consequences for a silly joke about, like, you know, someone who is... Who of course would have laughed at you, but would have had no consequences from that and built a career out of laughing at misery and violence being inflicted on people he deemed inferior to him.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
maybe
okay.
this is just like
this is
a disagreement
blind
that
spot.
ceased to exist.
A disagreement, a blind spot, and like I don't. I don't think a white person can get it. Like when you said like you understand the violence that his rhetoric could cause, a white person is never going to get that. And I think like that is a blind spot that as a white person, you would like never ever be able to actually fully understand. And that's okay. That's perfectly fine, right? You live within a society.
The only part I would say about this is trans people could also feel the violence irregardless apparently isn't a word. But thank you, Tony Soprano Lover, for telling me that over and over again. But what I will say is that, like, you know, I feel like there were many people who felt his violence. Poor people, single mothers, but at the same time, that's not really the crux of what Kovi's saying, nor does it disprove what she is saying.
Where you don't have to think about those things, right? You live within a society that centers you, that caters to you. You don't have to think about how you're going to be subjected to that level of violence. So no, I don't think white people get it. I don't think white people will ever be able to get it. I don't think white people understand what it feels like to, on a day-to-day basis, see people who look like you die in the most brutal manner and the whole world just shrugging. I don't think white people get the fact that when you go to school, you are more likely to be suspended or expelled for simply existing within a black body, and literally the whole world views you as a criminal or as if something is wrong with you or as if you have to make yourself a little bit smaller because you shouldn't even be here in the first place. You should be grateful to be alive in the first place, right? I don't think people get that. You do not get that. Nobody gets that. If you are not black, you don't live life as a black person, you do not get that, right? And so even if a person, which I know you have been doing the work, I know that you have been deconstructing like racism and you have been educating yourself. We've had multiple conversations, but at the end of the day, you are still a cishet white man living within the US, within a society that caters to you specifically, right? So you will never ever be able to actually get the...
Maybe when I'm back, I should ask Kovi if she wants to come on, because I think it'd be interesting to talk to her. She's, she's very nice and lovely.
Violence that black people are being subjected to on a regular basis. And the only issue that I have here is, if a person can never ever fully grasp and comprehend and understand what it feels like to be marginalized, why do they think they have a right to condemn the marginalized and how they react, and also determine how the marginalized should be reacting?
Kovi spitting fire. One of the real TikTok philosophers of our time.
Well,
Like-
I think if I remember correctly as well, Kovi like knows a lot about something I actually don't know very much about, which is 48 Palestine, as in like Palestinians who live inside the borders of Israel, occupied Palestine. But yeah.
I think all that I'm saying here, and like this is the position.
The US never got over its racism issues, and this is not to say that the rest of the world isn't racist, but in the US it's something people can actually act upon and be protected. I would argue that most of the world you can act upon it and be protected. I think really, like, the kind of identity politics preached by so many, like being racist to black people is still a fucking major vote winner in America. It is a major vote winner in the UK. She's saying something extremely basic badly. I'm not sure she is saying it badly.
Is that I personally like think it's wrong to uplift, celebrate, and like celebrate, you know, like the public execution that we saw.
And I don't think that...
But it's funny that that's his... it's funny that that's where they... Why have these all got music on? Why have these all got music
It is also worth adding on here that I'm sure many of you were in my live or joined my live the day after what unfolded and watched me try to have a conversation with a lady by the name of Kovi, or as I call her, Athena. Wrapping it back into my last point, I shouldn't have been live during this time. I was not in the proper headspace to be attempting to hold genuine dialogue.
I think TrueAnon had cooked on their episode when they said, sometimes we just don't need to talk about things. I just disappeared to blow my nose because I've got I got a snotty damn nose.
And I want to let you all know that since then, I have spoken with her privately, as I truly wanted to have a conversation with her in a space where I was more receptive to dialogue. I spoke with her for 30 minutes, and honestly, it was a really good conversation. And that's all I will share publicly about that for now. However, Athena, I apologize, as I told you privately, I also want to say it publicly. I apologize for being unwilling to hear you out during our original conversation on live. It is also worth adding...
But yeah, I mean, lots to say about that. The TikTok edits filters make the sob stories even less serious than they were. Yeah, I think for many people, this kind of stuff is literally just a soap opera where they just, like, watch people and add sad music over it. And, like, imagine things about these people. It's amazing stuff. There's another video of Trump and Erica Kirk sharing a weird hug, apparently, which I'm going to watch now.
Erica, please come out. Erica, please come out. Thank you.
Why is he so... He looks awful, by the way. What is wrong with his face? What is genuinely wrong with his face? Why is he so, like, dark today? The tanning has been applied horribly. Especially around his nose. It's so funny as well, because Trump is not at all sad. Trump is not at all sad. Why did you delete the message of... okay. You can resend it if you want. I was wondering. I was like, yeah. He's mourning, Chris. Can't you tell? No one cares about his ballroom. Yeah, I mean, and no one cares about his ballroom. He's sad because President Xi messaged him privately saying, I don't give a damn about the ballroom. And yeah, what a strange hug. Why does he keep bouncing her off him as well? Weird things are happening. Oh, I just realised this is probably copyrighted, for fuck's sake. Oh, no. Oh, for goodness sake. Just to watch Trump, like, bump and grind against Erica Kirk. Weird shit going on over there, but, you know, I guess what can you expect from this guy? Just an awful character. Ugh. This is so uncomfortable. And I don't think the point is saying, like, oh, you shouldn't celebrate political violence. I think it's just telling other people how they should and shouldn't feel as a white person, you know, who's, like, very friendshipy with Charlie Kirk. Like, Charlie Kirk liked Dean Withers. He, like, actively liked him. Very copyrighted. Who is Dean Withers? Dean Withers is a TikTok debater, is really Dean. It's all Dean Withers does. Like, I can see why people, like, don't do the TikTok debates. I think there's certainly something to be said about not doing them, and probably, you know, at a certain point I'll move away from them. It's largely just because I want my audience to grow on here, but, yeah, I think when it's just the only thing you do, I don't know, I'm just not sure there's that much to it, really. I think you should try and do other things, like talk about the news, talk about politics you care about, instead of just bringing people up. There's a funny clip I was watching in Alan Partridge, where this time with Alan Partridge, and they kind of just brought up, and it's like Sidekick Simon says something about just bringing up extremes. But I guess on the one hand, I wouldn't describe myself as extreme. I'm someone who's rational, and I know a lot about Palestine, and I care about it deeply. So I also keep checking the Ballon d'Or to see when Cole Palmer's announced. Charlie Kirk talks about Dean. I don't actually know. There is a video of him talking about Dean being his friend. I'll see if or him liking Dean.
to get gun deaths to zero. It will not happen.
Right. Let's have a look. Cole Palmer and Ballon d'Or don't belong in the same sentence unless it's Cole Palmer is never getting close to the Ballon d'Or. I mean, that's just not true. I feel like TikTok is good for clips/segments. The whole debate live stream stuff on there is tough for more serious discussions. 100%. It was always a game/business for him. I think it is just a game/business. It gets you up so many viewers. It's what people want on TikTok because their attention spans are shitter. And I think the only merit I see in it really is just getting out information and making people feel more confident in talking about Palestine. I can't watch the video of Trump dancing. Trump goes on a tariff. Trump also was Trump was unbelievable. Yesterday, like he just did not give a single shit about Charlie Kirk and just. I mean, this guy does not care. I know you noted the ballroom thing, but yeah.
Like Charlie and Erica made Turning Point hot. We are looking at a country that has the chance to attain a level like never before. Tariffs are making us rich again, richer than anybody ever thought was possible. And the only one challenging them are people that hate our country or foreign countries that are paying a price because they did the same.
Also, by the way, the tariffs are like the stupidest thing imaginable, and the US will feel the impact over coming years, and the US will continually decline as a place to live for the average person. The rich will continually get richer. It is not something that is positive.
Thing to us for years. They took advantage of us, but we're making money. We're becoming...
This is just such an unbelievable thing to say. Just talk about making money. Hashtag pocket watching at the Charlie Kirk Memorial Service.
Richer and richer. And we're taking care of our people better and better when we do that. And we can take care of other countries better and better. But we're doing unbelievably well. The tariffs have really been a hold. The election was big. But the tariffs, because of the election, came in. And remember, other nations do that to us. And Charlie understood that. He saw the money. He saw what was coming into our country, and we can use that for Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, all of the...
They cut all of this. It's unbelievable stuff.
Things that we fight so hard for, and that's exactly what's happening. The numbers are incredible when the news...
This is just unbelievable. Unbelievable. I genuinely cannot believe it. I genuinely cannot believe that this is what you do at the funeral. You just stand there and lie and are like, I've done so much good for America. Oh my god. Sorry, I want to see the oh shit, I've accidentally... So here's probably the most important one. And Random Box of Weird, I know you said as a non-American, like, why is this still in the news cycle? There is something actually more important to this that I want to talk about and might even do a main channel video on.
Say to you that a century from now, when they write of the 2 or 3 pivotal moments that led to the saving of Western civilization, they will write that the sacrifice of Charles James Kirk was the turning point. Well, I say...
Yeah, I mean, you know what? Increasingly, and there's a lot to this, people are turning Charlie Kirk into, like, a Jesus-like figure. I mean, it is unbelievable what they are doing, really. They are kind of just making it out that he's like superhuman, that he was godly, that he is above criticism. And what national movements need are dead people. Both Eric Hobsbawm and Benedict Anderson, two 20th century Marxists, wrote about nationalizing the dead. It is so much better to nationalize the dead, because a dead person can never wake up and change their opinions. A dead person can never say or do things. A dead person can never get involved in a scandal. A dead person is dead, and that is why they will be perfect. Here you go. This is Ilan Pape on it in The Idea of Israel. Sorry, someone... Trump never misses a chance to turn even a funeral into a Trump rally. I mean, it basically was a Trump rally, and I think that that's also probably the other thing that you should probably realise. I've been using an alternative browser that has no chat feature. Love from Northern Saudi. Don't forget to like the stream. Thank you, Onion. Yeah, shout out. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting. They're literally making him a martyr. Yeah, because he's dead. Like, that is 100%. Like, he talks about in the context of Marek Edelman and the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising. But, Hobsbawm and Anderson, that it is best to nationalise the dead since they cannot claim a different identity from the one ascribed to them. Charlie Kirk's dead. Charlie Kirk can never change. He is the perfect hero of a national movement. He is perfect. He is almost superhuman-like. And there's been so much inflation of this recently that Charlie Kirk is like a god, basically. And I'll just play some more. Let me see if I can find this.
It is not proportionate. Like, there is violent extremism on both sides. It is not proportionate. And in order to have an honest conversation about what led to this moment, that has to focus in part on the left.
I'm glad you mentioned that it's not unique to one side or one party. Charlie Kirk was not a saint. He said 2 years ago, it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year so we can have the Second Amendment. But his murder makes us feel like a very...
Okay, so that wasn't what I was looking for. Fucking hell. Ugh. Where is this? Oh, okay. So here we go. We're going to have to go here. Adorable cat needle felting for beginners. Includes injection. Oh, she reposted it on Twitter. So where is this? So she's since deleted it off Twitter, I think. I don't know. Yeah, she's deleted it off Twitter, so it's not there anymore. Levitt, who describes herself as a devout Christian, shared a post on Instagram that read... Oh, okay, it's on Instagram. Caroline Levitt. Where is this? Okay, it doesn't even exist. It doesn't even exist, seemingly. Imagine me getting banned before DXR. I didn't ban DXR. I didn't ban anyone. But yeah, Levitt, on the night Charlie Kirk was shot, a 4.1 earthquake struck Utah. In scripture, 40 represents trials, 41 signifies a shift. It hit at 5:57 local time, 7:57 Eastern. Act 757 describes Stephen, the first martyr, stoned as the crowd silenced the truth. The Bible says earth trembles when God is angry. That night, as her voice was silenced, the ground groaned. She reposted the screenshot of a Twitter post, adding, "Wow." The post suggests a connection which recounts the story of St. Stephen. I mean, it's crazy that these people have such power in America that they believe these things. But there is just generally this attempt to turn Charlie Kirk into a godlike martyr because it's what the right needs. Trump didn't die, and so he can't be a martyr because he's constantly useless and constantly fragmenting the right. Charlie Kirk in death is far more of a uniting figure than he ever was. If Charlie Kirk had actually turned on Israel, certainly couldn't have happened if he was dead. Me, when I smoke a ton of crack before reading the Bible, I mean, yes. The rapture is coming tomorrow. Oh, really? Let's have a look at this. Let's find out about the rapture coming tomorrow. But I mean, I assume that most of these TikTok Christians... Oh my god. Why am I turn on TikTok and it's just someone... who do I need to search? Okay, the rapture tomorrow.
Okay, so I just heard...
Okay, I definitely shouldn't be searching that because there are nude photos on there. No offense, girly, but it's not related. The epicenter of the earthquake was 112 miles from where Charlie... Why was what 112 matter? Why is the rapture going to happen? Jesus is on his way. Apparently the rapture is happening. It's 2012 all over again. It's 2012 all over again. The world is ending. Okay.
Rapture update 2025.
Okay. I'm liking Kevin on stage.
It is now Tuesday, September 20th. Rapture update 2025. It is now Tuesday, September 23rd in Tokyo and in Hong Kong. Asian brothers and sisters. If you're left behind, please check in. Did the people go straight up? Was it a slow float, quick float? I am getting a lineup. BJ is here just in case the rapture, comes. I don't want to go to heaven with no lineup.
I think he's joking, unfortunately. I was hoping he was going to give us a proper update on the rapture. Oh.
On September 24th of this year, so 1 week from today, do not believe anything that you see or hear.
Okay, right. I'm trying to find out. Here are some... Oh, fuck, I better be careful, right? There's nothing problematic to show, so I'm going to show this. Is it really on September? I am so tired and fed up. Nothing this world has for me. But my son, family. My friends laugh at me, but at this point I don't care. I'm tired and I know we are going home soon. Sadly, also soon, they won't be laughing anymore, and that makes my heart heavy. Well, I for one am convinced that the rapture may well be coming. I was in the boat with my family. They think I'm too much or think I'm better than them because God tells me things, but they can have God speak to them too. I was going too quiet trying and woke up at 3:30 with Philippians 14-9 repeating, Satan is really whispering in your ear, sister. Block it out. No weapon formed against us will prosper. Jesus didn't quit. We have to endure to the end, sister. Don't give up on pulling others into Jesus. We got this. Sending hugs. As far as the east is from the west is a phrase from Psalm 103:12 in the Bible, symbolizing an infinite and unimaginable distance to emphasize the completeness of God's removal of human transgressions, unlike north and south. I mean, maybe it's happening. I felt it when Charlie was murdered. There was a shift. I firmly believe he is waking up his children. They felt him that day and the days after, calling them. My personal confirmation, while I was falling asleep, I heard in a still voice, you will not be here next year. Bro, I think you might have schizophrenia or psychosis. Rather, I pass away or the rapture happens. Without setting a date, I don't think we will be here to see next year. All glory to the Lord our Saviour. I've been trying to buy a home since 2021. God been blocking me. He was telling me time is too short for me, a new home. Then he showed me a vision. He said, tell them I am back on my way. Then I saw why he was blocking me. Yes, Jesus on his way. Okay. I mean, if there is a rapture tomorrow, thank you all for coming. And also, I would recommend that you all donated all of your money to me. And maybe you will go to heaven. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure, but I am thinking that it could well happen. I'm just God, the stuff that is happening in this world is amazing. It's amazing stuff. You would think that all of the apocalyptic violence that might provoke us more towards it, but yeah. I do think, and I don't think that this should be underestimated, and I don't think you should diminish Charlie Kirk from who he was. Charlie Kirk was a very important figure. Charlie Kirk was someone who basically someone who had a considerable amount of influence. He had hundreds of chapters, and the reason that we should not diminish it is exactly that. There were plenty of people who owe their jobs. He definitely played a key role in bringing Donald Trump to power, and I think none of that should be forgotten. And his assassination, as I say, has given them a martyr. It has given them someone who they will nationalize, who they will tell you was a perfect individual, who we all have to worship, in the same way that October the 7th, for many Zionists, is a temple at which if you do not worship enough, if you do not condemn enough, you will never ever be good enough and moral. Look at how they're like, oh, every statement has to be just condemnation of October the 7th. It has to start with it. My God. Pretty major update. Looks like Israel is going to try and kill Greta Thunberg. Statement regarding the Hamas flotilla. Samud. This flotilla, organised by Hamas, is intended to serve Hamas. Israel will not allow the vessel to enter an active combat zone and will not allow the breach of a lawful naval blockade. If the flotilla participants' genuine wish is to deliver humanitarian aid rather than serve Hamas, Israel calls on the vessels to dock at the Ashkelon marina and unload the aid there, from where it will be transferred promptly in a coordinated manner to the Gaza Strip. Israel urges the participants not to break the law and to accept Israel's proposal for a peaceful transfer of any aid they might have. They are saying that they are going to enter an active combat zone, and it should be today. I mean, there's a general strike in Italy regarding all of this. I'm sorry to kind of derail from the Charlie Kirk stuff, but that's a pretty major update. But there are huge strikes in Rome today, apparently. I hope tithing will make me a harpazo, my lordship, at 100%. You are saved. I am going to Fallon Daffer's Kingdom of Heaven. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is, but I assume it's great. But yeah, I mean, Italy has we're using the Socialist Worker, everyone's #1 news source. Check it out. Over 15,000 marched through Rome for Palestine. Strikes and protests erupted in over 80 towns and cities across Italy on Monday. Trade unions called for a general strike for Palestine, with millions of workers now reportedly walking out. I mean, UK trade unions aren't doing shit like this, so shout out the Italians. But I mean, the dock workers said they would strike if the flotilla does not reach its point, and it may well not reach it because of what Israel is going to try and do to it. Sorry, I need to blow my nose and I keep making myself... Oh, my damn nose. So drippy. The nose moving drippy. Excuse me, it's the Holy Ascension to Falun Gong's Heavenly Palace of the Jade Emperor. Brilliant stuff. I'm glad to hear. Oh, I feel like so many people just want to poison you against Greta and tell you that Greta's just like a performative activist, but when she has been unequivocally pro-Palestine. Shout out Greta! Why can't we even watch him blow his nose? Because it's gross. Their reward for terrorism. What did Tantura and the likes achieve? Yeah, I mean, this reward for terrorism is the biggest load of bullshit ever. I mean, I should probably talk about the recognition of Palestine. But yeah, it's a great day. It's a great day in terms of, I'm glad to hear people are striking. general climate of rising protest. The general feeling is that many more people than before, especially in the public sector, feel the need to express their opposition to what is happening in Gaza and are willing to take a step forward to do so. That's probably also many people who struck who usually don't. There's probably also many people who struck who usually don't. Members of the trade union USB have held multiple strikes and protests to block arms, blah, blah, blah. The Palestinian people continue to give us yet another lesson in dignity and resistance, said Ricky, a protester from the Autonomous Port Workers Collective. We learn from them and try to do our part. That's brilliant news. But yeah, I mean, there's good stuff happening at least. I'm glad to hear. Fascist Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni is hardline in her support for Israel. As Western leaders are recognising Palestine, Meloni has reiterated her support for the terror state and its genocide. Love these words from the socialist worker for calling Israel a terror state. Right, let's finish off the final Charlie Kirk stuff, because there's some other stuff I want to talk about. Stephen Miller gave a speech that was eerily similar to a fucking Joseph Goebbels speech at the Charlie Kirk Memorial, which, to be honest, in my opinion, is much more apt than you would ever imagine. This is "The Storm is Coming" by Herzl, the speech. "The storm is coming. So our dead comrade Horst Wessel wrote, and we are fulfilling this prophecy, that others may lie, slander, and pour their scorn on us. Their political days are numbered. They promised you workers, citizens, and creative Germans a Reich of freedom and beauty and dignity. People rise up and the storm break loose. You are the witnesses, the builders, the will-bearers of our idea and our worldview. Well, we the people have awakened. We have risen against oppression. 15 million people have joined in an army of revenge. You men, women, and comrades, and the bearers, witnesses, builders, and finishers of this unique people's uprising. We have served the truth and only the truth for 12 years. They have insulted and outlawed and slandered and persecuted us."
The storm whispers to the warrior that you cannot withstand my strength. And the warrior whispers back, I am the storm. Erica is the storm. We are the storm. And our enemies cannot comprehend our strength, our determination, our resolve, our passion. Our lineage and our legacy hails back to Athens, to Rome.
Do you know what's funny about them talking about this? Yes, they always bang on about how they are building off. That they are building off Greek democracy. And yet the thing is that Greek democracy was not exactly very equal. Not everyone didn't have the vote, did they? Well, not everyone had the vote, sorry.
Philadelphia, to Monticello, our ancestors built the cities. They produced the art and architecture. They built the industry. Erica stands on the shoulders of thousands of years of warriors, of women who raised up families, raised up city, raised up industry, raised up civilization, who pulled us out of the caves and...
I'm sorry, but referencing the storm is crazy work.
The darkness into the light. The light will defeat the dark. We will prevail over the forces of wickedness and evil. They cannot imagine what they have awakened. They cannot conceive of the army that they have arisen in all of us. Because we stand for what is good, what is virtuous, what is noble. And to those trying to incite violence against us, those trying to foment hatred against us, what do you have? You have nothing. You are nothing. You are wickedness, you are jealousy, you are envy, you are hatred. You are nothing. You can build nothing. You can produce nothing. You can create nothing. We are the ones who build. We are the ones who create. We are the ones who lift up humanity. You thought you could kill Charlie Kirk? You have made him immortal. You have immortalized Charlie Kirk. And now millions will carry on his legacy.
Yeah, I mean, pretty worrying stuff. I'm telling you, this moment should not be underestimated at all. At all. Just do not underestimate it. It's pretty worrying times. Sorry, I want to see if I can find this. What I'm looking for.
The storm whisper.
But yeah, I mean, the stuff going on at this memorial was unbelievable. I mean, Trump did cure autism at it, so that's quite something. Is he trying to take Charlie Kirk's job or not? Because who is he? Stephen Miller is head of... What is Stephen Miller's actual job? He's a key part of the Trump administration. He's the White House Deputy Chief of Staff. That's his job. So he's not exactly like an insignificant individual. I mean, we got Keir Starmer quoting... we've got Keir Starmer quoting... the Rivers of Blood speech. No, that's not Mosley. Enoch Powell. We've got him, Starmer quoting Enoch Powell. And then we've got Stephen Miller trying, or like quoting, or like coming really, 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 really close to fucking Joseph Goebbels. Amazing times politically. Amazing times politically. We build everything, they build nothing. They have awakened... Who is the they that he speaks about as well? Oh, shadow president. Oh, I mean... It's not good. It's not good at all. I knew what I was looking for. Here we go. It bears noting that democracy and despotism, despite their Greek origins, reinvented modern concepts that emerged in the 18th century Europe as conceptual and practical opposites. As for democracy, its Greek origins were noted as the word was often associated with negative political valences. The modern meaning of democracy and its common usage in English would not emerge until the time of American and French revolutions, and would be especially linked to America's self-understanding and orientation, I assume that's meant to say. I don't know, but that's Joseph Massad in his book Islam After Liberalism. I have a feeling Lamise is going to crash the Canadian wedding. You keep talking about this damned Canadian wedding. But yeah, I mean, this is just crazy. I mean, RFK had a lot to say.
He thought that conversation was the only way to heal our country. And this was important, particularly important during a technological age when we are all hooked into social rhythms, social algorithms that are hacked into the reptilian cores of our brain and amplify our impulses for tribalism.
What are you? Why would you talk about Charlie Kirk in this context? That is exactly what Charlie Kirk did.
And for division. He felt that the only way to overcome that biological impulse was with a spiritual fire and with developing community. And the only way to develop community was through conversation.
I mean, looking at the reaction to basically Charlie Kirk's death and some of the AI slop that's been going on, it's amazing. It's unbelievable. Like, the AI slop is showing that this is not a good thing. That this is just not a good thing at all. Is the brainworm speaking for RFK? Of course it is. This was real. Oh my god, the stuff going on yesterday was truly unbelievable. You had we have Hassan Piker tweeting. Elon Musk and Trump were talking yesterday, which we're not listening to with sound. So, clearly he didn't mind being told that he was in the Epstein files, because he is obviously in the Epstein files. He just looks so lame, though, Elon Musk. Like, look, he's doing the thing. He's doing the thing. He always does this. What happened to his voice cords? I don't actually know. What happened to RFK's... Sorry, guys, I'm just still appreciating the noise. It's called spasmodic dysphonia. I have a tremble in my voice, particularly when I first start talking, Kennedy said that earlier in his career he would receive letters and emails from people who saw him on TV, and that 3 of the 4 of those people suggested he might have spasmodic. He later got an official diagnosis. The group says, so it's not from smoking, but yeah, there you go. There's your answer. I never knew that. I knew it was from some kind of condition, but yeah. Elon is back in the club. Yeah. I mean, Elon is back in the club. Sorry for calling you a paedophile that is hiding the Epstein files, Mr. President. I mean, it's all it takes. He has money, so Trump doesn't care about anything. They espouse very similar kinds of racism, so he doesn't care about it. He doesn't care.
But frankly...
There's amazing stuff also happening with, we'll talk about that later. I'll shut up now. Tucker Carlson had a very strange speech.
Ultimately, he was a Christian evangelist. And it actually reminds me of my favorite story ever. 2,000 years ago in Jerusalem, and Jesus shows up and he starts talking about the people in power, and he starts doing the worst thing that you can do, which is telling the truth about people, and they hate it, and they just go bonkers. They hate it, and they become obsessed with making him stop. This guy's got to stop talking. We've got to shut this guy up. And I can just sort of picture the scene in a lamplit room with a bunch of guys sitting around eating hummus, thinking about what do we do about this guy telling the truth about us? We must make him stop talking. And there's always one guy with the bright idea, and I can just hear him say, I've got an idea, why don't we just kill him? That'll shut him up. That'll fix the problem.
Oh, that bit is so weird.
It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a reference to Israel. I mean, I don't know what Tucker Carlson has been saying, but I know Candace Owens is very much of the belief that he was killed by Israel. I know that much is true. Tucker Carlson hosts the Charlie Kirk show. I mean, he hosted the Charlie Kirk show after JD Vance. I don't know what he said there. I don't know where Tucker Carlson even talks about this kind of stuff.
Everything is inverted.
That's my favorite story too. The story of Jesus Christ.
Actually, this was about something completely different. You know, Charlie died for Israel. Many began to say the Prime Minister of Israel said that, and so did a lot of other people. Charlie was a defender of Israel, which he was, by the way, and therefore he died for that cause. But none of these explanations, all self-serving, are really satisfactory. They don't capture who Charlie Kirk was, and on some basic level, they're dishonest. Charlie was not a Nazi. He was not killed because he was a Nazi. Yes, he was a defender of Israel. He didn't die for Israel, however. Why did he die? What was his life about? What was the sin, the core sin that Charlie Kirk committed against somebody, power, that got him killed in the end? And the answer is right in front of us, certainly those of us who knew him. Charlie's life was defined by his Christian faith, not his spirituality, but his belief in Jesus, his life as a Christian. And everything in his life flowed from those beliefs. Everything he did, said, and believed came from the fact that he was, above all, a Christian.
Yeah, I mean, also, by the way, as I've said, the amount of Nazi-like rhetoric that you can highlight in from people associated closely with the Trump administration is kind of unbelievable. It's really, really unbelievable in terms of how, like, Nazi-like a lot of the rhetoric coming from people really is. I'm not so familiar with what Tucker Carlson says.
And that is...
But, like, Charlie Kirk miracle. Andrew Colvert, who was Charlie Kirk's, I think this is Charlie Kirk's surgeon or something? I don't know. He probably should have listened to the words of Christ then. Maybe, yeah, I think that would have probably been a good idea, and he perhaps would have been a nice person. Honestly, at this point, quizzes are not fun. I think that there are Christians who are good and nice and moral people, but yeah. Do you know the book by Amy Kaplan, Our American Israel? Yes, I do. I started reading it a while ago, and apparently one of my lecturers would always go on about how good that book is, so one day I will read that. I want to address some of the discussion about the lack of an exit wound with Charlie. I'm usually not interested in delving into most of this kind of online chatter, and I apologise this is somewhat graphic, but in this case, the fact that there wasn't an exit wound is probably another miracle, and I want people to know. I just spoke with the surgeon who worked on Charlie in the hospital. He said the bullet absolutely should have gone through, which is very normal for a high-powered, high-velocity round. I've seen wounds from this caliber many times. They always just go through everything. This would have taken out a moose or two, down, an elk, etc. An elk, etc. What other creatures? Would it have taken down a goblin, for example? Would it have taken down a ghoul? I don't know. These are not things that I'm being told, but we will see. But it didn't go through. Charlie's body stopped it. I mentioned to his doctor that there were dozens of staff, students, and special guests standing directly behind Charlie on the other side of the tent, and he replied, "It was an absolute miracle that someone else didn't get killed. His bone was so healthy, and the density was so impressive, that he's like the man of steel. It should have just gone through and through. It likely would have killed those standing behind him too. In the end, the coroner did find the bullet just beneath his skin. Even in his death, Charlie managed to save the lives of those around him. Remarkable, miraculous. Your post is so fake, it would violate HIPAA. Rest assured, I wouldn't have posted it without full permission. Thank you for sharing this information, Andrew." Prayer emojis, or high-fiving hands. Why is a doctor sharing confidential medical information? I had permission to share it. Who is this person? I'm not reading that. It's very long. It's not for me. I don't know what your favourite guy thinks about this. I wonder what he's been posting. God, he has such a big TikTok. Good old fascist bone density. I mean, I don't know what your favourite guy posts. Let's find out what he posts about all of this. One person you may know has sent you a message, but I can't see it. Who cares then? My mic was muted! My mic was muted! Oh my god! Oh my god! You missed my laugh. It's time, Charlie. Wait a minute. There is one more thing. Oh my god. Is this a real account? Oh my god, it is. Shit posting for fun. DMs and small. What is this? Oh my god. Unbelievable stuff. Unbelievable stuff. So we have a new video about how Netanyahu about how Israel definitely did not kill Charlie Kirk.
Joseph Goebbels, the Nazi propaganda minister, said that the bigger the lie, the faster it will spread. Well, somebody has fabricated a monstrous big lie that is
a monstrous big lie. That's a very big lie.
Israel had something to do with Charlie Kirk's horrific murder. This is insane. It is false. It is outrageous. Charlie Kirk was a giant, a once-in-a-century talent who defended freedom, defended America, defended our common Judeo-Christian civilization. Charlie loved Israel. He loved the Jewish people. He told me so in a letter that he sent me just a few months ago. One of my greatest joys as a Christian, he said, is advocating for Israel and forming alliances with Jews to protect Judeo-Christian civilization. He encouraged me to make the case directly to the American people about how vital Israel is to U.S. national security. He told me, the Holy Land is so important.
I told you, this is why Charlie Kirk matters so much more dead than alive. He is a perfect hero for Israel now. He is a perfect person to just highlight and say, yeah, this guy is, oh, he loved Israel. He can never ever change his opinion or feel any type of way about Palestine, about anything.
Into my life, it pains me to see support for Israel slip away. Now, if Charlie disagreed with a policy of mine or a decision here and there, not only did I not mind, I welcomed it. This is the essence of Charlie. This is the essence of a free country. It's exactly what Charlie stood for. And I knew that his suggestions always came from the heart, from his love for Israel and from his love for the Jewish people. A few weeks before his death, I spoke to Charlie. I invited him to visit Israel again. And sadly, that won't happen. Now some are peddling these disgusting rumors, perhaps out of obsession, perhaps with Qatari funding.
Of course! Oh my god, he just cannot get enough. None of these people can ever get enough. Perhaps from Qatari funding. Oh my god. Ugh.
What I do know is this. Charlie Kirk was a great man, and a great man deserves honor, not lies. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. May your memory be a blessing.
Oh god. What even is this room of Netanyahu? Just, oh my god, what a strange video about this. What a strange video to post. But the reason that he's posting it, is very, very obvious. By the way, the reason that he does this is because it's a boon for him in the sense he will just sit here and say, oh, people are doing all these things, and he'll use it to say, look, everyone blames Jewish people for everything, and that's kind of why he bothers making the video. That's actually what he wants to do, because he wants to be like, look, everyone's anti-Semitic, Qatar, like, he gets all the propaganda in there. Amazing stuff, amazing stuff. Thank you, Mr. Benjamin Netanyahu. Oh, God, fucking hell. HyperJ posted instructions in important to do an audio to download master volume. I know, I will do it. Sorry, but I had a very busy weekend. Just about anyone these days waiting for my paycheck. I'm waiting for the goddamn paycheck. I mean, there was this article by Greyzone, which I don't know if we covered, but it's quite long. But it's basically how Ackman and other people, and look, I part of me is surprised that this is how simply it operates, that someone like Bill Ackman just leans on you and says stop platforming people, but he says the account of the meeting was totally false. He pledged to release a public statement providing his own account of the event, but refused Greyzone's request for clarification or further details. I think I can easily put this one to bed, Ackman promised. I have receipts, as they say. He did not abide when asked to provide the so-called receipts. But yeah, they're just talking about this here. An all-expensive trip by the Israeli to visit a Gaza humanitarian hub guarded by the IOF. I mean, Charlie Kirk didn't go on that, but maybe that was because he was busy. Who knows? Who knows why he didn't go? Um, CJ Pearson, a leading youth coordinator for the Republican National Committee, immediately referred the Grey Zone to his communications director when asked if he attended the Hamptons gathering. The strong-arm tactics of the pro-Israel billionaire, who helped fuel the growth of Turning Point USA, were said to have contributed to Kirk's alienation with Christian Zionism, which emphasizes uncritical support for Israel as a bedrock principle. Several sources with access to Kirk said that he had begun attending Catholic Mass with his wife Erica. Bree Solder, a Catholic influencer, has publicly corroborated this account of Kirk's religious realignment. Kirk's friend, the podcaster and former TPUSA personality Candace Owens, also alluded to the shift when she reflected that he was undergoing a spiritual transformation. Yeah, there's just stuff here about how he didn't basically go to a thing. There was something here, though, that I'm not so... Oh, this is a different Grey Zone one. But yeah, there's some interesting stuff in there. I don't think he was shot by Israel. It was disappointing to see people I trusted posted about that. I personally don't think he was shot by Israel either. I think whatever Charlie Kirk was, he was a great propagandist for Israel. He may have changed his mind one day, but the final interview with Ben Shapiro was illuminating to me. He offered no real pushback to Ben Shapiro, but he's better dead for them, 100%. He's better dead for them. Because when he's dead, he can never change his mind. He can never change at all. But yeah, right. Let's go on to one thing. Trump said something else crazy yesterday. Here's Trump saying...
In that private moment on his dying day, we find everything we need to know about who Charlie Kirk truly was. He was a missionary with a noble spirit and a great, great purpose. He did not hate his opponents. He wanted the best for them. That's where I disagreed with Charlie. I hate my opponent, and I don't want the best for them.
I hate my opponent, and I don't want the best for them. This is how I feel about DXR. I do not want the best for you.
Sorry. I am sorry, Erica. But now Erica can talk to me and the whole group, and maybe they can convince me that that's not right, but I can't stand my opponent.
Why does he keep saying my opponent? He also said something about wanting Biden to pass away. Which is just...
Very angry, mean by...
Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, here it is.
Very angry, mean Biden. You know,
Biden
was always a mean guy, but never a smart guy. You know, even you go back 30 years ago, 40 years ago, he was a stupid guy. But he was always a mean son of a bitch, you know? How's it working? Not working too well for him right now, as it says. So when you start feeling sorry for him, remember, he was a bad guy. And I created
Biden was a mean son of a bitch. Not working out too well for him right now. So when you start feeling sorry for him, remember he's a bad guy. I mean, Trump isn't wrong, but it's pretty interesting that, you know, that's what he talks about. And we had Caroline Levitt talking about this, responding to this.
The man who shot and killed her yesterday. So we heard from Erica Kirk. She said she forgives the man who shot and killed her husband. And then right after that, we heard from the president who said, I hate my opponent and I don't want the best for them. How does that square with bringing down the temperature of political violence in this country? And then, if I could, I had a follow-up on Venezuela, too.
Look, the president is authentically himself. I think that's why millions of Americans across the country love him and support him, including Erica Kirk, who you saw so beautifully was on stage with the president in an unthinkable moment, in the midst of an unthinkable tragedy, and was leaning on the president for support during that time. And he was there to give it to her, as well as the vice president and many other top-ranking cabinet officials. Kayla.
Yesterday, so we heard from...
Wow, amazing stuff. I mean, it's so funny as well, because I as much as I disdain Destiny, I mean, he has a point about how all these people are like, oh, you've got to turn down the heat, and then Trump is just there like, I hate my opponents, you should hate your opponents. You know? it's crazy. But then we have our final speech, which segues into the crazy final part of this, which is amazing.
And tomorrow we're going to have one of the biggest announcements, really medically, I think, in the history of our country. We're going to be doing it with Bobby and Oz and all of the professionals. I think you're going to...
Who's this guy? Like, is the FBI or Kash Patel only allowed to be friends with people who have big bulging eyes?
I find it to be amazing. I think we found an answer to autism. How about that? Autism.
They found an answer to autism. Amazing stuff. The answer to autism is let the kids play Minecraft more.
Tomorrow, we're going to be talking in the Oval Office in the White House about autism, how it happens, so we won't let it happen anymore, and how to get at least somewhat better when you have it, so that parents can help their child, their beautiful child. That's a big one. I've been bugging everybody over there. Get the answer to that. You know,
I've been bugging. Have any of you seen Peep Show? Where hold on. I'll see if I can find the clip. I'm sure I'm allowed to play just one clip. They should do something to cure that. They should do something to cure cancer, you know. The bastards should work on that.
Cure. I think they're trying. Yeah, sure.
I don't know if I should show this. Can I show like 9 seconds of a clip? Oh, fuck it, I'm gonna show it. If I get demonetized, fuck it.
Cancer. They should find it's a pisser though, isn't it? Cancer. They should find a fucking cure. I think they're trying. Yeah, sure they are. They should pull their fucking fingers out.
Trump leaned on them. Trump leaned on them to get rid of autism. He had to fix the situation and get rid of autism. Screw it, I played it. Pfft, what are they going to do? Tell me to remove a certain bit of my thing? Okay, bro. I will probably do that. Sorry for being rude. Oh, goodness me. But yeah, so Trump's announcement is basically going to be that apparently Tylenol causes autism. And I've got breaking news here. Apparently this is the moment where he realized he needed to do something about autism. This awesome moment. Yeah, I mean, it's a fair enough point. Elon was being particularly annoying that day. And no doubt they wanted to do something because it's a situation in which you have to deal with him. He's becoming very annoying. Let's also move on to what he's actually saying. So, yeah, they're going to claim that apparently Tylenol causes autism, which is, you know, it's quite something. Trump expected to announce answer to autism, blames Tylenol.
And you know what? We're going to help unite MAGA, and to be amazing, can help. That's a big one. I've been bugging everybody over there. Get the answer to that. You know, 20 years ago, 1 in 10,000 were born with autism. 20 years ago. The most recent survey says 1 in 12. How bad is that? That's for young
boys, baby boys, but also
baby boys. They've all got autism.
Girls, a little bit better. It's about 1 in 20.
Girls, little bit better.
But we can't, because obviously there was something really wrong, and we think we know what that is. It's going to be, I think it's going to be one of the most important news conferences I'll ever have, and I look so forward to it.
It's a crazy thing to be announcing. This was, someone said, oh, to turn it into a Trump rally. Make no mistake, that was just a Trump rally. That was just a Trump rally. And yes, of course, it's probably much more likely to do with being able to diagnose children who actually have autism, you know, and that perhaps also there's an element of maybe more people had it than previously, and just, yeah, you know, there's a capacity now to diagnose it, and also a desire for people to get diagnosed because it may explain or help give them some kind of it may help them give some kind of reprieve. I don't know if that's the right word or the word I'm looking for. We got the best autism. Nobody knew it could be that good. No one ever knew it was good. I think you're going to find it to be amazing. The officials are expected to announce that Tylenol use during pregnancy could contribute to the development of autism in children, according to Politico and the Washington Post. Tylenol's owner, Kenview, said in a statement, the active ingredient, acetaminophen, does not cause autism. Trump and his advisors are also expected to discuss a potential treatment for autism. The drug leucovorin, the news organizations reported. Here is what we know about the announcement. Trump to cite gold standard medical research into autism. White House press secretary Caroline Leavitt, someone who I trust deeply, a very important woman in my life, declined to preview what Trump was about to announce about autism, but said Health Secretary RFK was paying attention to studies and the gold standard of science and research that others have ignored. Science that everyone has ignored. By the way, also, loads of people are just not going to believe this because you've told people, don't trust the experts. Don't trust the experts at all. What was the whole scamdemic about? You told everyone, no, you can't trust the experts. Bobby Kennedy, I know, right? You should inject whatever the hell I'm telling you to. The president is very excited about this, Leavitt told reporters at the White House. I don't want to scoop the president of the United States and our Secretary of Health and Human Services. I think Americans are going to be enlightened and proud by what they say, Leavitt added. How to watch Trump's announcement. Trump's announcement, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. So that's not for 2 hours. I am not live streaming for 2 more hours. Fuck that. Yeah. I know. I've read into it. Trump's announcement about autism is scheduled for 4 p.m. Autism spectrum disorder, autism diagnoses nationwide have increased significantly since 2000. By 2020, the autism rate in 8-year-olds was 1 in 36, or 2.77%, up from 0.66% in 2000, according to the CDC. Research spanning decades hasn't yielded firm answers on what contributes to autism, but many scientists believe genetics play a role, potentially in combination with environmental influences. Kennedy has argued the country has an autism epidemic fueled by environmental toxins. I mean, no doubt, like the microplastics that we're all consuming are just having very bad effects on us, but Chris doesn't care about the cure for autism. Get him. Yeah, sorry, I've not cared enough. I've not respected Charlie Kirk's death enough. I've not respected October the 7th enough, and I've not cared about the cure for autism. So I'm done out here. Ugh, God. Very widely, no single approach fits all with autism, says Christopher Banks, President and CEO of the Autism Society of America. Tylenol parent company Kenview issued a statement saying independent scientific research shows that paracetamol, or Tylenol, is the safest pain reliever option for pregnant women as needed throughout their entire pregnancy. What is the odds Trump just goes, you will need to take thalidomide or something insane tomorrow? Autism doesn't need a cure. I mean, they're discussing, I put the cure in as just like, a bit clickbaity. But like, the thing is that they seemingly there's also another drug mentioned here that they're actually going to say they're going to cure autism. And no, I don't think that that autism necessarily is in need of a cure. And I don't think it is curable either. And I don't think any of this is going to help. I think that this is literally just a thing to win Trump some favor and make it look like Bobby Kennedy has done something. And also because obviously it fits, very well in terms of, like, the whole thing of, oh, it's all about the vaccines and all of this stuff, you know? The beautiful boys, they're all getting autism. Put Coke back in Coca-Cola. Here, kid, eat more Tylenol. We are taking the social debuff for math skills. Is the Tylenol cause only for Americans, or my foreigner autism also? No, the ingredient is everywhere. The ingredient is everywhere. The company said that a decade of rigorous research endorsed by leading medical professionals and global health regulators found no credible evidence linking acetaminophen to autism. We believed independent, sound science clearly shows that taking acetaminophen does not cause autism, the statement said. We strongly disagree with any suggestion otherwise and are deeply concerned with health risks this poses for expecting mothers. Still, more than 24 studies around the world have linked pregnant persons' frequent use of acetaminophen to autism. Why has it just done that? Okay, I don't know what just happened. Okay. The generic form Tylenol is safe to use. It's commonly used by pregnant women who are already... You know who might be help? Who's that TikTok allergy doctor? Let's watch him and see if he's got anything to say. Dr. Rubin. He just uploaded a video of him dancing.
IQ is going to be, your children's IQ is going to be, and
here are 5 of the worst allergies. Did you hear what RFK Jr.'s vaccine advisory committee meetings are going, how they're doing?
Yes. Look, when RFK was confirmed initially, he promised that he was not going to take vaccines away from anyone. What he's done is he's just made it harder and harder and harder for people to get vaccines, everyone from little babies to seniors. And he is driving that over and over and over. And what that's going to mean is that a lot of people don't get vaccinated. A lot of babies don't get vaccinated. And you can describe the consequences of that better than anyone. But right now, here in Washington, it's vaccine chaos created by RFK Jr.
I mean, also, one of the other things that I feel most strongly about is there is lots of stuff to do with vaccines that isn't discussed, such as vaccine apartheid and the fact that so many people around the world aren't getting vaccines because of the name of capitalism, that there are so many people who still die. And I guess they just want to bring it back to America because it's something that's a boon for them, because they can't do most of the things they promised. They can't do anything to do with Jeffrey Epstein because Trump is so heavily involved with Jeffrey Epstein. So it's just a kind of crazy situation.
The good news, though, is that his committee is so incompetent they had to table one of the votes indefinitely that would have restricted access to the hepatitis B vaccine for newborn babies that we've been universally recommending since 1991. And we had dropped the rate of hepatitis B infections in babies by over 90% because of that recommendation. And they wanted to delay it to 1 month of age. But because it was such an ambiguous question, one of the members who had already been with ACIP previously said we need to table this because we have to rewrite this and think about this again, even though some of the other committee members were giving very strong anti-vaccine talking points during the meeting discussion.
Yeah. There's just no doubt the direction that RFK Jr. is pushing things, and that is just making vaccines less and less and less available. And that's going to be a real problem.
Yeah, it won't be seen right away, but those effects are going to significantly impact.
I trust this man because I have allergies and he's been helpful. So there's my thinking.
Children, their families, young physicians like myself haven't seen many of these diseases because they've been gone for so long.
Yeah.
And so it's a product of their success. Vaccines make us forget what it was like to live in the past.
Vaccines don't make me forget what it's like to live in the past because it's like the goddamn king is not letting me do anything.
But maybe RFK Jr. is in the pockets of big dental. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, oh God, unbelievable stuff is going on in America. Unbelievable stuff. God. Autism cure the day before the rapture is crazy. Yeah, I know. Maybe the two are linked and God wanted us to have the autism cure before we went to heaven so people didn't annoy him. PBS had some 5 quick facts.
Does taking Tylenol while pregnant cause autism? No. Research doesn't show this, and scientists have been studying this question for more than a decade. The Department of Health and Human Services is expected to release a report that suggests using Tylenol during pregnancy might cause autism. For years, Tylenol has generally been considered safe for treating pain and fever, even during pregnancy, when doctors discourage patients from using many medications. Despite the new headlines about Tylenol and autism, a few things are clear. First, doctors say it's safe to use Tylenol to reduce fever and pain during pregnancy. Having an untreated fever while pregnant can harm a baby. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says that
I feel like this is just like the important thing. Like they're just basically like, have a fever, and this is just being encouraged by the fucking White House. It's unbelievable. It is genuinely just unbelievable that they are encouraging people to do this.
Fever during pregnancy has been linked to adverse outcomes, including birth defects. After years of research, no study has proven that acetaminophen, the main ingredient in Tylenol, causes autism. The language used in scientific research can be confusing. Words like correlation, association, and increased risk.
This is also one of the problems, and I heard Todd McGowan put this very well. He was like, if you went out to study Hegel and you just Googled Hegel, you would not get an understanding of someone who is an expert. You'd probably be thrown out Koyeve's work on Hegel, which is bad. Koyeve didn't understand Hegel, or Hegel at his most basic. And just going out and doing your own research sometimes isn't the best idea. It's like to do with the bullet and Charlie Kirk. I've never hunted in my life. I've never fired a gun. And so the idea that I would be able to tell you, oh, actually, that is unusual from a shooting. I don't know. I don't know this stuff. I mean, pregnancy is so dangerous, so take your paracetamol if you need it. I mean, if it's safe, if it's said to be safe, then take it, yeah.
Sometimes appear in studies about acetaminophen use during pregnancy. That does not mean that the medication causes autism.
I think one of the reasons that autism has been on the increase might be pregnant women watching Hassan Piker instead of Chris Kunzler, but I don't know.
Experts said it's also possible that conditions that cause someone to take acetaminophen during pregnancy, such as fever or migraine, might be what increases the likelihood that a child will be autistic. It can be overwhelming to follow conflicting science and complicated medical research. But there's consensus among maternal and prenatal care experts that leaving medical conditions like fever untreated can endanger maternal and child health, and that Tylenol is a safe option to treat pain and fever during pregnancy.
Thank you, PBS. But, I mean, as I say, I think it is just the kind of thing that Trump can actually win on. Like, it's the kind of thing that Trump can release, and Trump can say, look how well I'm doing. Look at all this amazing stuff that's happening. Oh, I'm getting the tariffs done. You're not getting the Epstein book done, though, are you, young man? Gregory Sadler's YouTube series, Half Hour Hegel, is great, though. Quite possibly, before commenting on sniping children. Yeah, 100%. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I'm a ballistic expert. It's like the video that he pulled me up on, and he was like, why did you say these things? It's like, bro, I don't know the whole context, and I admit that in my video. Someone had a great tweet. That country is so weird. Why is a widow being presented like a walkout on FIFA? She comes out with the American flag. Position, right wing. Come on, that was a good joke that maybe someone will get. Half of Hassan's audience is there for Kaya. I'm there for nothing because the guy's a bastard who was mean about my moustache. So, yeah, I guess that's kind of how I feel exactly about it. But like
on Friday.
The problem is can you have longer titles on Twitch? Because, right, okay, let's get into recognition of Palestine. Stream though, but I can't make it through Hassan's. You have made it through almost all of my stream, but I guess my stream isn't as long as well, and I'm only getting used to it now. Yeah. Hopefully I'll be able to continue with this, if people keep donating and watching, it should be doable, basically, and I like this, so... He was just threatened by your whisker game. Exactly. So obviously, in case you didn't know, the UK has formally recognised Palestine. Actually, let's watch Keir Starmer's speech. He would be going, "We have recognised Palestine. I really like Palestine." And it's caused mad reaction amongst the UK. This is 6 minutes. I'm not listening.
In the face of the growing horror in the Middle East, we are acting to keep alive the possibility of peace and a two-state solution. That means a safe and secure Israel alongside a viable Palestinian state. At the moment, we have neither. Ordinary people, Israeli and Palestinian, deserve to live in peace, to try to rebuild their lives free from violence and suffering. That's what the British people desperately want to see. Yet, almost 2 years after the barbaric attacks of October the 7th, hostages are still held by the terrorists of Hamas. Recent images show the hostages suffering and emaciated.
But, like, honestly, anyone who talks about this, you know that Israel is torturing people to a far greater degree, that Israel is engaged in a huge mass scale of torture and abuse that is celebrated in Israeli culture, that is celebrated by Israeli government officials who you fucking sanction. And yet you sit here and you're like, I need to talk about October the 7th. This is what I mean. Worship at the temple of October the 7th. If you don't, you're done. You're not allowed to do anything. Worship Charlie Kirk. You're done. You're not allowed to do anything. Same shit. I assume that's what it was like as after 9/11 as well. Zero Diode, thank you for the membership.
Hamas even refused to release all the bodies of the dead. I have met British families of the hostages.
This is something that Israel does as well. Also, look at that horrible pause frame.
I see the torture that they endure each and every day. Pain that strikes deep in people's hearts across Israel and here in the United Kingdom. The hostages must be released immediately, and we will keep fighting to bring them home. Let's be frank. Hamas is a brutal terror organisation. Our call for a genuine two-state solution is the exact opposite of their hateful vision. So we are clear. This solution...
It's the exact opposite of the hateful vision of the Israeli government. Meanwhile, they're arresting people. Exactly. And it's just 1 minute 45 of condemning Hamas and nothing about what Israel is doing.
Is not a reward for Hamas, because it means Hamas can have no future. No role in government, no role in security. We have already prescribed and sanctioned Hamas, and we will go further. I have directed work to sanction other Hamas figures in the coming weeks. Meanwhile...
Why are you still sanctioning Hamas? What is that going to do?
The man-made humanitarian crisis in Gaza reaches new depths. The Israeli government's relentless and increasing bombardment of Gaza, the offensive of recent weeks, the starvation and devastation are utterly intolerable.
Are they barbaric? Are these attacks barbaric and a kind of violence that is morally unacceptable and unjustified that means the Israeli government, who have a violent and hateful vision, should have no future? Of course they're not, because this isn't what Keir Starmer's talking about.
Tens of thousands have been killed, including thousands as they tried to collect food and water. This death and destruction horrifies all of us. It must end. We have evacuated the first group of sick and injured children to the United Kingdom to be treated by the NHS. And we continue to increase our humanitarian support. But still, nowhere near enough aid is getting through. We call again on the Israeli government to lift the unacceptable restrictions at the border, stop these cruel tactics, and let the aid surge.
Are they barbaric, or are they just cruel?
With the actions of Hamas, the Israeli government escalating the conflict, and settlement building being accelerated in the West Bank, the hope of a two-state solution is fading. But we cannot let that light go out. That is why we are building consensus with leaders in the region and beyond around our framework for peace. This is a practical plan to bring people together behind a common vision and a series of steps, including the reform of the Palestinian Authority.
Reforming the Palestinian Authority. Oh God, what more have the Palestinian Authority got to do for you? It'll be about the Martyrs Fund. Like that'll be what it is, and they'll just go like, oh, if the Martyrs Fund is just it is just and everything's okay. I'm watching you over Hassan, trying to get over my phobias of the British. Well, yeah. I'm damn British.
That takes us from a ceasefire in Gaza to negotiations on a two-state solution. We will keep driving this forward. As part of this effort,
It's also so crazy to hear that, you know, in terms of basically, oh, sorry, I've kind of forgotten what I was going to say because there's something I wanted to put up here. It's also just crazy to hear this guy, like, basically continually condemn it and say Hamas have to be sanctioned for their hateful vision, that they have no future of government. But, like, Israel's just okay? Tonight, and this will be what it'll be. Francis Macron will announce the opening of an embassy will be conditioned on Hamas releasing all Israeli captives, French diplomats told Mohammed Shahada. He'll recognise Palestine conditioned on reforms by the PA, including a review and change of textbooks, and auditing and verifying the end of PA payments to families of Palestinians killed or jailed by Israel. The PA will do it, and it'll mean nothing.
I set out in July.
The PA should condition it on Israel actually saying we're not going to do anything. Because that's where the problem will lie. Because Israel will get more reforms of the Palestinian Authority and nothing will happen. And they're kicking up a fuss to convince the population that this was wrong.
The terms upon which we would act, in line with our manifesto, to recognise Palestinian statehood. That moment has now arrived. So today, to revive the hope of peace and a two-state solution, I state clearly, as Prime Minister of this great country, that the United Kingdom formally recognises the State of Palestine. We recognised the State of Israel more than 75 years ago as a homeland for the Jewish people.
Fuck Israel.
Today, we join over 150 countries who recognise a Palestinian state also. A pledge to the Palestinian and Israeli people that there can be a better future. I know the strength of feeling that this conflict provokes. We have seen it on our streets, in our schools, in conversations we've had with friends and family. It has created division. Some have used it to stoke hatred and fear, but that solves nothing. Not only must we reject hate, we must redouble our efforts to combat hatred in all its forms.
So why do we have any association with Israel? Why do you allow counter-protesters to fly the Israeli military flag? It is crazy.
We must channel our efforts, united together in hope, behind the peaceful future that we want to see. The release of the hostages, an end to the violence, an end to the suffering, and a shift back towards a two-state solution as the best hope for peace and security for all sides.
But yeah, I mean, the reaction has been crazy. So here's Yoav Gallant, really great guy. There will never be a Palestinian state. Starmer, the British mandate ended 77 years ago. You should focus on the Islamist surge in the UK, not on Israel. The first sentence vindicates the judgment of our Prime Minister. Recognition isn't a victory for Hamas. It's a defeat for those who do not want to see the lives of Israelis and Palestinians as being of equal worth. That is the Defense Minister of Israel. The former Defense Minister of Israel, wanted by the International Criminal Court. He is a guy who... You are saying that he doesn't think the lives of Palestinians and Israelis are equal, and you think the relationship is still something to maintain with this stupid country. Like, what is this? You are literally saying that this guy is someone who doesn't think that Palestinian lives are of equal worth, and that we have a relationship with this. You are a member of Keir Starmer's cabinet, and you are saying this. Unbelievable. It is unbelievable. This is the Board of Deputies of British Jews, which is apparently about, you know, British Jewish problems in the UK, dealing with anti-Semitism. Obviously, it's not that. There will be deep dismay at the Prime Minister's announcement across the Jewish community and among family members of hostages. Why? Why is it deep dismay for family members of hostages? Why? Why does that cause dismay? Why should Palestinians having a state, even this basic, shitty two-state solution, have any problem for Jewish people? Why should this have a problem? Why should this be a problem and a fear for Jewish people? There are 20 prisoners of war alive. The rest are dead, allegedly. It hasn't been mentioned recently. I saw a funny comment on one of Chris's lives. A two-state solution, Palestinians in Palestine and Zionists on Mars. As we feared and warned, the way the UK has chosen to recognise a Palestinian state has done nothing to advance a ceasefire, free the hostages, stop the suffering of Palestinians in the Gaza Strip, or advance long-term peace. It may have set those goals back by reducing pressure on Hamas and enabling them to claim recognition as the fruits of its violence and intransigence. This is just a statement that reads like the Israeli government. And what does the Board of Deputies says it does? Advocacy for the community, established in 1760. This is apparently what they're supposed to be doing. Advocating for just Jewish people generally. How is this advocating for Jewish people? Recognising a Palestinian state makes it harder for this war to end. What are you talking about? This is such shit. This is such complete and utter shit. It doesn't even mean anything. It is nothing. When Palestinians are suffering, and this is the best that you can do, it does nothing. West Streeting is playing the support for Palestine of people who... sorry, say again. Hi, Chris. Can guarantee West Streeting is playing the support for Palestine is full of people who don't think Israeli lives have worth card. I mean, yeah. I mean, 100%. Yeah. We will continue to press the government on how it will now use Britain's diplomatic leverage to bring about the release of the hostages, 2 of whom have British family, end Hamas's reign of terror, and meaningfully enhance conditions for peace between Palestinians and Israelis. Let me just show you how stupid. This Bruce Unfiltered moron had an amazing take.
I've got a short message for anyone wondering why I'm furious with Keir Starmer. You see, the Prime Minister has just announced the UK will recognise a Palestinian state. On paper, that's sold as keeping alive a two-state solution. In reality, it's the worst possible moment to do this. And here's why this matters, not that you're thinking about this, and why it makes us less safe in the United Kingdom. First, intelligence and security. Israel is one of our closest intelligence partners in the Middle East. If you think recognition won't harm that relationship, you'd better think again.
Who cares? Who cares? These people are literally like, let me gobble up slop about hating Keir Starmer. I once debated this guy. He came up thinking he knew shit about Palestine and backed down instantaneously because he doesn't know a single thing. He was like, oh, you talk down to people. And it's like, look at you. You are telling everyone that you know so much about Palestine that you're angry.
Israel has publicly attacked the move and warned it rewards terrorism. And when trust...
Why do we care about what Israel says? Why do we care about what Israel is saying? Why do we care about British intelligence in the Middle East?
Between partners breaks down, intelligence sharing does too. That means less early warnings about terrorism aimed at Britain and our allies. That's not theory, it's geopolitics.
That's not theory, that's geopolitics. This is just slop. It's word slop. Word slop on TikTok.
That comes directly from Reuters. Second, who benefits on the ground? Well, not ordinary Gazans. Analysts are already warning this is largely symbolic and won't improve the safety of immediate humanitarian situation inside Gaza. Recognition handed now gives Hamas a massive political win. They'll claim victory, which they already have, and leverage...
Hamas claimed... Wow, my PC just did a big whir because I have so many tabs open. And it's basically fucking silent. Look, here we have UK rewarding Hamas, says mother of freed British Israeli hostage. Maybe if people like you did not have views like this, then we would not be in a situation where Hamas carried out a military assault on Israel.
It for power while civilians still suffer. So the people Starmer says he's helping, the civilians, are the least likely to benefit. Thirdly, what about diplomacy and leverage? A government loses bargaining power when it makes big symbolic moves at moments of war. If Israel feels betrayed, it can harden its stance, and our ability to press for ceasefires, hostages, or humanitarian corridors weakens. In short, fewer tools, less influence, and more risk. And finally, let me answer the easy attack line. Why care now? You didn't before, because this is different. This decision makes us all less safe. It's not about...
Recognizing Palestine makes us all less safe. Ah, I see. Yes, we should reward Palestinians. They've been putting up with... It's not even a reward for Palestinians. It's just ridiculous.
Who you do or do not like. It's about strategic reality.
Who you do or do not like, bro. You spend your time bigging up Israel, you idiot. I will debate you any time.
Security, intelligence and leverage matter. If the Prime Minister thinks a symbolic gesture during an active violent conflict is the way to deliver peace, he is very much mistaken. And that mistake could and likely will cost lives. So that's my position again. This was the worst possible timing and the worst way to try to help people in Gaza. If you're tired of being told to pick a team, don't. Demand leaders who choose strategy that actually protects people.
Ugh.
British jets, specifically Typhoons, are back on the front line. The Liberal Democrats claim that...
It's just slop after slop after slop after slop. No views as well. Like, you cannot be earning money with this.
Oh my days. These people...
It's just, the only views he gets, the boon he gets for his channel is just associating with the Tommy Robinson protest. He has so many accounts. Does he even upload on them?
Wow.
Oh, that's private.
So... some breaking...
Oh. Yeah, I mean, but this is the thing. This is not someone who understands or cares about politics. This is someone who's just far right and just likes far right politics, but just wouldn't openly enunciate that. And here we have more genius British commentary on this.
I imagine that Hamas has said this is a victory for the justice of our cause. So your government, the Prime Minister, has appeased terrorists.
Let me tell you what Hamas's cause is.
No, why don't you respond to that respectfully, sir?
Okay, Nick, I would treat Hamas's statements on this with the same scepticism that you would treat any of their other statements. Their cause is one state,
This is literally the cause of our closest allies in the Middle East. This is the cause of Israel. Does he have an OF? I don't know. I'll find out.
Violent state.
Well, I know. I've been paying a lot of money for that.
Between the river and the sea. Two states
and you've
is
just
defeat
provided
for
justice
Hamas.
for it.
No, not justice for Hamas. Justice for two states. That is completely opposed to what Hamas want.
Who do you understand to be in control of Gaza at the moment?
Well, are you asking me, do Hamas remain in Gaza? Yes, they do remain in Gaza, alongside millions of vulnerable civilians, violent looting gangs. Gaza is chaos now.
Violent looting gangs funded by one of our closest allies in the Middle East, who you still pour funds to.
Israel's foreign minister has revealed that he actually has Israel's
loss on legislation.
Right, Nigel Farage has also had a lot to say about this.
Win the next election, will you de-recognise Palestine?
Well, that's a big if down the road type question. I think that Starmer was completely wrong to do that. You can't reward terrorists like Hamas. And even though he tried to caveat what he said, the fact is that right at the moment, Hamas and the Palestinian cause are inseparable, one for the other. And how can you recognise a state if you don't even know what the geographical boundaries of it would be, let alone...
We do know what the geographical boundaries of it would be. Like, this is just... These people are so paid up by... They're getting money from Israeli companies, they're getting money from Emirati companies, all of their money from the most despicable people in the world. And these stupid people tell you, like, oh, Keir Starmer, we should not have anything to do with Keir Starmer. And all of their posts are boosted on social media. Oh, God. And also, yeah, he can't help but say Hamas.
To recognise a state where the people that are running it are intent on wiping out the population of Israel. So I think that was a terrible mistake. It's
amazing. It's amazing. Like, these people are the scum. They are the scum of the earth, the things that they say and do and talk about when it comes to Palestine. Like, look at this. The Prime Minister is wrong to recognise a Palestinian state. This is a reward for the Hamas terrorists and will do nothing to bring about peace. By the way, I think Twitter is one of the most botted and, like, manipulated platforms in the entire world. Because videos like...
Are you a million?
Like TikTok, I feel like, is a bit of a better indicator, because the thing is videos get boosted on TikTok by...
Under a reform government.
Videos...
One in, one out. That's what the government...
Videos get boosted on TikTok, obviously. They get more views if they're posted by right-wingers. It's just a matter of fact. Sorry, but it's true. But you still can see it from the like count. You can see, oh, this is popular. This is just an inflated post. More likes now for me. More likes for me now. I need likes now. But look, you are getting... They moralise and they grandstand. And they're like, oh, you can't have a state with terrorists who don't recognise this. And it's just like, bro, you are getting retweeted by Netanyahu, a man who unequivocally does not recognise Palestine. You know? God, I pray for these people's downfall.
Loved it when I did this stuff.
Drama Alert is claiming that Trump called out influencers.
Just will add on, Charlie loved it when I did this stuff over and over again.
Influencers and others in our society who greeted his assassination with sick approval, excuses, or even jubilation. You've heard that. So have I. Couldn't believe it.
He's coming
Some of the very
influencers.
same people who spent the last 8 years trying to sit in moral judgment of anyone who disagreed with them about politics suddenly started cheering for a murder. Incredible. You know the names. They're major losers, by the way.
Destiny's a major loser.
That will be proven out in a short period of time. Some of the very people who call you a hater for using the wrong pronoun were filled with glee at the killing of a father with 2 beautiful young children. And the same commentators who this week are screaming fascism over a canceled late-night TV show where the anchor had no talent.
It is amazing how much he hates fucking Jimmy Kimmel. Like, bro, why is it that just Jimmy Kimmel is someone that you just are obsessed with? Like, yeah, bro, Jimmy Kimmel's not great, but like, why is this guy specifically the person who you hate so much?
No ratings. Last week we're implying that Charlie Kirk deserved what happened to him. No side in American politics has a monopoly on disturbed or misguided people.
God.
Yeah, Hassan's cooked. Hassan, come to the UK. Let's start a UK leftist house. Like, Jake Paul's Team 10, but for people who are interested in Marxism.
But there's one part of our political community which believes they have a monopoly on truth, goodness, and virtue, and concludes they have also a monopoly on power, thought, and speech.
I love Donald Trump, Mr. President. I love you so much.
That's not happening anymore. We've turned that corner very quickly. Tragically, atrocities of this kind, and kind that we saw in Utah, of all places, are the eventual consequence of that kind of thinking. If speech is violence, then some are bound to conclude that violence is justified.
Oh, bro. Worrying time. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Worrying times in America. Worrying times for Hassan D. Piker. Actually a very close friend of mine, Hassan D. Piker. Probably my best friend. To cheer us all up, let's watch a video of Hassan curling and see how good his form is. It's bad, actually. What is that? You know what? Trump can fucking deport this guy and arrest him all he wants. This curl? No way you should be going that fast on the decentric motion. Come on, bro! We should be getting it up here and going down like this. You need time under tension, my man. I'm not crazy here. I don't know if any of you go to the gym, but like, nah, I'm a much bigger thinker that you need to get it up like this. You can get it up quickly, and then you should get it down like this. I don't have a bar up here. If I did, I could show you how I do curls. He should be deported for the Adam Friedland t-shirt and his curling form not being up to my snuff. But he may be curling a heavy weight, and I hear there's quite a bit of merit to actually curling a heavier weight than you can, and I've started implementing that a bit more. I think he is safe because he likes big, strong men. I don't know. I don't know. I have never been to the gym, bro. I hate any kind of sports. Look, Hassan is also not a young, beautiful baby, whereas, you know, I'm like 24. This guy's like 90. So, yeah, I'm a young, beautiful baby who may or may not have autism. So, yeah. I'm so sorry. I'm going to have to look to Hassan as the authority on the matter. No, you're not, because Hassan is my senior. He is older than me. By the time I'm Hassan's age, I'm going to look like Arnold. That's all I'm saying. That is just definitely not true. Yeah, deport Hassan to New Jersey. He has to live out his days. Go into the, what's it called? Go into Satrials. But no, I'm not. I'm joking. But he laughed at my moustache, so I assume it's okay. Sorry. Sorry. Let's get back to this quickly.
Are you hoping for peace in the Middle East?
I'm not here to answer your question.
So I want to answer.
To answer mine. No, we're not having speeches. Oren.
No speeches.
You're here to answer questions. Okay.
I want
to say. The question is, when you say this is a reward for terror, why do you not see?
It's a real pity that Kristen Guro-Murphy has such terrible opinions on Palestine, because, like, God, when it comes to interviewing people, he's pretty decent.
That in fact what this is your close allies, Britain, France and others, Canada, Australia, telling you you're getting this wrong and you need to think again.
Answering your question, you know how Hamas called it? The fruits of the massacre, in their own words. So, and I will ask you, do you want to see peace in the Middle East? I will answer. I want to see peace in the Middle East. I want to see my daughters grow up in a different...
So why not listen to your allies who say the route to peace in the Middle East is the two-state solution, and the route to that is recognition of the Palestinian state?
This statement coming out of London and other cities in...
Peace in the Middle East. But America said terrorists, so it's true. Yeah, 100%. This is kind of what I try and get at when I debate these people. I try and say, like, hey, you do realize that you're just, like, going... Oh, your distinction of terrorism is literally just, does America support it or not? And if that is all your understanding or description of terrorism amounts to, I'm sorry, bro, that's dog shit. That is utterly dog shit. It's not a good enough opinion about anything.
The world does not promote peace. Perhaps it corresponds with some internal domestic issues. I don't know. But one thing I know for sure, it does not promote peace. On the contrary, it promotes destabilizing the Middle East, destabilizing the area, rewarding terrorists.
How does it destabilize?
I will answer. It's giving a gift to terrorists. Reward.
I love how the argument is literally just, it's giving a gift to terrorists. Like, this is, again, from the bottom to the top, Zionist stuff is such slop. You look at the pro-Palestinian movement, there are people saying interesting things. There are people with interesting opinions. Like, they would be better placed to get Loner Box to do their propaganda than everyone in Israel. Israel is such a place of talentless hacks.
Violence.
How does it actually destabilize anything? There are already nearly 150 countries that recognize
the message
Palestine.
you are sending, or the people sending this announcement, this declaration is, if you go out, if you kill 1,200 Jews, massacre...
Needs to make it if you kill 1,200 Jews, of course.
Families, burn them alive, you will be rewarded. This is the worst thing you can do. And I would say another thing.
But hang on, did you listen to Starmer's speech?
I did. Actually, I did.
In which he said Hamas have no future in Gaza. They are terrorists in his view, and they are looking at further sanctions. So it's not a reward to Hamas. What he is saying is that if Israel, as it has, kills 60,000 Palestinians, if it starves them, if it continues to destroy cities, you have your finance minister saying that this is the demolition stage of what's going on in Gaza, and soon you'll be building. If you behave like that, then your allies will effectively tell you off and say, no, you need to deliver a Palestinian state. That's the message.
Might be wrong. And in this case, they are very much wrong. Because what they're doing is not promoting peace. If you want to see peace, you need to keep in mind that statehood is part of a peace negotiation, a part of a conversation, a concession between two parties. This is not what's happening.
You're not prepared to negotiate, though, are you? I mean, you bombed the negotiations in Qatar.
No, the negotiation is not with Hamas. Hamas is the one that is trying. If Hamas will be next to us in this moment, they will slaughter me alive. And they will...
It's so amazing! It's so amazing! Oh, Hamas will slaughter me alive. You are the people that kill every single person. You are the people who kill Hamas's entire families with them. And you go, oh, but what happened on October the 7th? You must cry. Oh. And then it's like, oh, we just mass slaughter everyone, but that's okay because the US government likes it.
Do the same to my family. They have it in their charter. Kill every Jew.
It's not in their charter. Categorically untrue. You should probably push back on that for, want of decent information.
That's it. So we're not negotiating with Hamas.
But to end the war, you were negotiating with Hamas, and that's what you bombed.
And the idea is to end the war, and you touch on a critical point. If people in London want to see this war comes to an end, and this is what I want to see. I want to see this war coming to an end. They need to do two things. First, demand the immediate release of the hostages. First, demand Hamas to disarm.
They literally demanded all of these things.
Immediately. Any other move, gesture politics, is just giving Hamas more energy to continue fighting.
Hamas is in your walls. Hamas is in your walls.
Why would this be the will of the people in London? I don't think, by the way, it's the will of the people of London. For what I hear, most of the people in the UK oppose this step by the UK Prime Minister.
They've literally, by the way, this is also an amazing thing. Just Israel and its propagandists have totally lied. They said that 90% of people don't support Palestine. By the way, I think if you ask most people, they would say, yeah, I recognise Palestine, or no, I don't know anything about it, sorry. And I think that actually the most would just say, recognise Palestine. So we had by the way, this is the wife of someone that EthanKlein fucking follows and thinks is a great content creator. Yosef Adad's wife, wife of propagandists. British Telegraph poll, almost 90% of Britons do not support Starmer's move to recognise Palestinian state now. Let's see if we can find out about this. God, it is amazing using this fucking PC. Oh, Terror Trove and all the people who've donated. Oof. Mwah. Mwah. There is a Hamas member hiding in one of the plants. I knew it. They're so trickery. They're engaged in such trickery. So much trickery. Almost 9 out of 10 Britons do not back the survey by JL Partners. Who the hell are JL Partners? Jewish lobby partners, maybe? Don't know. I can't find J. So it's just like a Downing Street research thing? JL Partners suggests almost 90% of the population does not support the Prime Minister's decision, which is expected to announce. Just 13% of Britons support Palestine being recognised without any conditions. A majority of the public, 51%, also opposes recognition, while Hamas still holds control of Gaza and has not released any hostages. According to the poll, 40% of Britons separately believe a condition of statehood should be Hamas agreeing to a ceasefire and releasing the hostages. That is something that Hamas have agreed to. It also found that 17% oppose any recognition in any circumstance, and 52% believe granting statehood would be a reward for terrorists by giving them what they want. James Johnson, co-founder of JL Partners. Who is this? Why can I not type J? Let's look at what this guy tweets. My God. Do you think this guy is like a good source? Pictures from the Reform Party conference. He's retweeting about that. 55% of Americans approve of the President of the United States. This is just him, like, they're talking about the Reform Party. Like, this is not some reliable thing. What is this? I'm just looking into this. Ugh, Jesus Christ. Look, like, so we know where most Britons have come from. Only 13%, and those are for 2,118 people surveyed. And for those crucial voters that have defected from the Labour Party to reform, or could consider doing so, the equivalent number... Wait, here we go. So apparently 89% of... Yeah, bro. How is this... 68% of people voting Green apparently will just disagree with the UK recognising Palestine without any conditions. What? That is the biggest amount of shit that you will ever hear. How is that plausible? I am sorry, 68% of Greens don't recognise Palestine. What? Their party leader says what Israel is doing is a genocide. This is the most cooked poll that I have ever seen. How is this plausible? I'm sorry, what? I wouldn't trust any of the JL partners polling the right-wing press are squirming with delight over. They seem to have a habit of playing with very loaded dice. They're a useful tool, emphasis on tool, for the right wing to mislead the sheeple flock. Thank you, Edward Hayward. I tend to agree with him, because what is this? Who did they even poll? I don't know. I'm trying to find out. But also, what does conditions mean? What does conditions mean? Like, how do you reach that with the Greens? What does this question mean? Are they talking about, are they talking about, like, any conditions? Like, conditions on Israel? Conditions on Palestine? No, Charlie, the PC is fixed. The PC is beautiful. We all gotta worship the PC. Everyone put thank you PC in the chat. The families of... Yeah, but this is just such a weird poll. Where can I find this? Where, like... This is genuinely one of the most... I tend to agree with this. Someone said, genuinely think this may take the cake as one of the most misleading headlines to have ever been posted. This is so misleading. Because what does this mean? Oh, I showed the PC. Go back to the start of the stream. I showed a video of the PC. The PC is here. It's real, 100%. The PC is real. And I even did some of the building myself. That's how much of a good moral man I am. Wait, do you really not believe me? EthanKlein, thanks for the new damn PC. Here you go. Here's some streamception. Here's me showing the PC. Oh my god, look at that! Look at that! Oh, it's fire. It's fire. It's fire. The people don't want to hear it, but it's fucking fire. And now I've accidentally closed the stream, so thanks for that, Sophie. Everything's computer. Toadburger, thank you, comrade. You should nickname it Police Constable. Police Constable Floppy. By the way, if you haven't checked out Bad Hasbara, I should have posted that all on my story. Because that was great. I really enjoyed Bad Hasbara. I hope you all did too. Only 13% say the UK should recognise Palestine without any conditions. This is literally the most crazy thing that you will ever see. This is one of the most crazy polls that you will ever see. Because what does any of it mean? But this is a poll by... this is a poll by YouGov. Do you think that Israel should or should not... do you think the UK government should or should not recognise Palestine as an independent state? Should recognise as an independent state. This seems like a much more likely poll. If you survey the general public, how would you ever get to this position? Like, I'm sorry. Green voters, 68% should recognise Palestine as an independent state. I bet that 3% in the Greens as well are just like, no, you shouldn't recognise it. You shouldn't recognise it because of, you shouldn't recognise it because you should only do a one-state solution. Conservatives are 40% don't know. Reform are 38% don't know. The PC Israel, yes. The UK government is already a key participant in the genocide. 18% of Britons aren't human. 18. Look at 18 to 24. No, the specs aren't posted in Discord. I mean, I can get them, but it is all set up. Oh, it sounds so fucking clean, man. Age group 18 to 24, 65% in favour, 28 don't know. That is crazy. They are cooked with younger people. 25 to 49, that's such a huge age range. That is such a huge age range. Mental. It's so mad that these people just post like the biggest lies imaginable, and that's just their whole shtick, just lying constantly. Right, we'll listen to Gideon Levy's tweet and then I think I'll close up.
Or in my view, a lip service of the world toward the victims of Gaza to show that the world is doing something. But this something will neither stop the war in Gaza nor promote a Palestinian
state. It's hollow, you say it's lip service, that it won't achieve anything tangible, let's say. What would you have wanted to have seen? What could those countries, those governments have done to have achieved more than what you're saying they have at the moment?
The fact that any reform voter voted yes on that is mad. Nah, it's not. Because there's this problem of, like, for reform and stuff, and every right-wing movement, there's this problem of basically just right-wingers who, like, kind of support it, who kind of support Palestine, you know? Who kind of like, actually, I don't think we should just unequivocally be aligned with Israel. Even at the thing, like Tommy Robinson's protest, they have this woman who is incredibly stupid, but just sings, Keir Starmer, the Granny Harmer, wants us mixed up in Israel drama. Also, this is amazing. Autism announcement. Why they have that is unbelievable.
They just have to learn from history and to do exactly what they have done toward the first apartheid state, namely South Africa. It was very effective then. It is thanks to the international community that we don't have anymore an apartheid regime in South Africa. Same means should be aimed at Israel, the second apartheid state in history.
Third, I would say, yeah. Wait, when was apartheid formalised? When was apartheid formalised in South Africa? Formalised in South Africa. Yeah, apartheid was formalised in 1948, the same year Israel was created. And Israel was an apartheid state as soon as it was created, because Palestinians were subjected to military law.
And what worked there will work here. Hollow condemnations or support of or declarations or recognition of the Palestinian state have no effect on Israel. And as long as they don't have an effect on Israel, we are still stuck with the same genocide in Gaza and the brutal occupation in the West Bank. Civil societies and governments in the West can do something to make Israel be accountable for what we are doing over 50, 60 years now and what we are doing for the last 2 years in Gaza. The problem with Israel is that it never pays for its crimes, and it's about time to pay for them. And I truly believe, I know that in South Africa it was the business community who came to the politicians, to the white politicians, and told them, we cannot take it anymore. We should have the same with Israel.
I mean, Gideon Levy, on the point. Gideon Levy was the editor-in-chief of Haaretz. I don't actually know it. Oh, he was the editor of Haaretz, maybe? I don't think he is anymore. But he's very based on stuff like this. I don't think all of his views are perfect, but I do like him for some. Alright, guys. I think I'm going to close the stream here. Now, we're going to have at least a week off until I'm in an apartment in Montreal. Then I'm going to do everything in my power to set up and get a basic setup for you guys. It'll be laptop streaming. It'll be about 4 streams a week. I'm going to try and do more YouTube and like short form videos. Thank you all for the last few months. I'm really glad and happy to be going to Canada. I honestly cannot wait. But I'll be away for quite a while. I won't be back until November. And then it won't be so long next time I'm away in Canada. But yeah, I'm really excited. But thank you all for the last couple of weeks and months. Thank you all for helping me build the PC. And yeah, I'm so grateful for everything. And thank you so much. The Discord's obviously still going to be open. I'll try and be on the Discord a bit more. Mediocre Violist, a fantastic moderator, has a wonderful resource list coming out that I am going to try and look at depending on how busy I am over the coming week. But I do also kind of need a break for a bit, but I'm going to go out. But yeah, I've got to get my flight tomorrow. There'll be short form content. There'll be videos up on here. I promise. Thank you all so much for everything. And I will see you in the near future. All of the VODs are going to be up. Anything you want. There'll be a new video, hopefully about Ethan, out this week. But yeah, thank you all so much for everything. Me showing the PC. Promise. Thank you all so much for everything. And I will see you in the near future. All of the VODs are going to be up. Anything you want. There'll be a new video, hopefully about Ethan, out this week. But yeah, thank you all so